Sports on Air.
Magandang umaga, tanghali, gabi kung saan man kayo nanonood sa sulok ng mundo. Ito na naman po ang Sports on Air Classics Edition na naman ang ihahatid namin sa inyo. At unang-una, ako po si Ernest Fernandez, ang inyong host for this evening. At papakilala ko muna sa iyo bago yung mga guests natin, yung mga restback ko ngayong araw na to, natutulong sa akin kasi hindi ko masyado naabutan eh. No? Ito mga naabutan talaga. Sila ang mga magtatanong para sa akin. At unang-una dyan, kung ang talagang umabot talaga dyan, no? Ito, Godfather, Brian Yalong.
Hindi naman ako yung una, di ba? Sobra ka naman. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. Welcome to a very special edition. This is going to be a first for us. If you tuned in the last time, we promise we'll do it. And here it is.
At syempre, hindi na kami tumitingin sa Wikipedia kasi mali-mali daw. Kumuha kami, the Human PBA Encyclopedia. Ang tawag namin sa kanya isang talagang henyo tungkol sa history ng PBA at stock knowledge na lang. Wala nang Wikipedia. Okay, the Human PBA Encyclopedia from Terra Firma Jeep, Assistant Coach Emerson Colina.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening po sa inyo lahat. Sa mga followers natin, and want to work kay Sir Brian, Ernest, kay Mike, kay Ivan, Sir Boyet, good evening. And to our guests, good evening, sir.
At syempre, di ko na yata kailangan introduce to eh. Pag nagsalita, kilala nyo na eh. But anyway, without further ado, a veteran in the field. Talagang veteran, no? Pero isang batikan, yun na lang. Hindi yung batik-batik batikan sa ating industriya sa sports media. Papa B, Boyet Season.
Magandang gabi, magandang araw, magandang umaga. Pabaliktarin ko naman, di ba? Baliktad. Kayo, umaga, hapon, gabi. Ako, magandang gabi, magandang hapon, magandang umaga. Pabaliktad naman ako. I am very honored to join you again, gentlemen, at sa ating mga kababayan who are listening and watching this. I hope you enjoy this episode because it's going to be a lot of fun. Gentlemen?
At pag nandyan si Papa P, humanda kayo kasi nilagnat ako sa kakatawa nung dati namin kasama yan. No? Oo pala nagkakalagnat ka pa habang tumatawa. But anyway, kumuha rin kami mga guest YouTubers sa araw na to. From PH Sports Bureau, Mark Sotelo. Magandang gabi sa iyo, Mark.
Well, magandang gabi sa inyo mga kabasketball. Samahan niyo ulit kaming balikan ang nakaraang panahon ng Philippine basketball at pakinggan ang kwento ng paborito nating manlalaro noon at ngayon. Well, i-ready nyo na ang inyong mga inumin at pulutan at sagot na namin ang kwentuhan.
Ayaw pa!
Ate, sanay na sanay yan si Mark eh. No, but anyway, no, mag-subscribe kayo sa channel niya. Ang daming mga historical data sa PBA kaya namin sinama talaga yun dito. But anyway, may sinama pa kaming isa pang journalist dito, no? From Dugout Philippines, we call him Mr. Chappy kasi laging Chappy ang kanyang internet. Ivan Saldaheno.
Ayun. Hi guys, ayun nga, medyo masaya itong kwentuhan natin ngayon. So, abangan nyo to. Masaya to, promise.
At yan na nga, ito ang mga restback namin ngayon. Marami-rami kaming restback kasi matitindi mga guest namin ngayon. Without further ado, ito na ang aming guest para sa ngayong gabi. Ngayong umaga, ngayong tanghali, walang iba. El Presidente, Don Ramon Fernandez.
Good day.
Palakpakan tayo dyan.
Para 2 words lang, Boyet. Good day to all. All-encompassing na yan. Anyway, Ernest, Boyet, Brian, Ivan, and the rest, lalo na yung mga sumusubaybay ngayong gabi o ngayong araw, magandang araw. Kumusta kayong lahat? Sana nasa mabuting kalagayan kayong lahat.
Unang-una, Don Ramon, kamusta naman kayo? Siyempre, ewan ko lang kung may nangyaring ganito in the history of the Philippines. Ganito tayo natenga sa buong mundo. How are you coping up? No? I think you were going back to Cebu, back and forth. Tapos you're doing PSC duties as well. Kamusta naman kayo dyan?
Well, before the lockdown, I was in Manila early March. I went home to Cebu March 12 dahil 16 yung unang lockdown natin, hindi ba? I went back to Manila June 29 until September 3. I was there for over 2 months, helping out on our chairman and the other commissioners do our job, like preparations and what have you, no? And now I'm back in Cebu, but I'll be back again in Manila to be with Chairman Boots and the 2 other commissioners sometime towards the end of this month for maybe another month.
Kaya Don Ramon, parang kung tinanong ko tungkol sa trabaho, medyo na-stress kayo ng konti. But anyway, itong gabing to, no? I-distress namin kayo, no? Paluluwagin namin ang araw mo, papasayahin namin ang todo, no? But,
hindi naman stressing yung trabaho ko, Ernest, no? It's all about sports, no? So
yun.
Para akong pagong tinapon sa dagat or sa tubig.
Kusa ng lalangoy. Pero ito, yeah. Don Ramon, babalik tanaw tayo konti. Babalik tanaw tayo ng konti. Paano ba kayo nagsimula, no? I understand you grew up in Cebu, Bisaya Gyud, no? Sino ba ang batang Don Ramon Fernandez? Anong itsura niya? Anong ginagawa niya sa buhay?
I was born in Maasin, Southern Leyte. Never mind the year. I've forgotten it, but I studied there the whole of my elementary years, and then starting high school, dito na ako sa Cebu. Yun ang mga ginagawa namin sa mga towns or cities outside of Cebu, in the other islands. Usually, pag dating sa high school and college, pumupunta sa Cebu for their studies. No? Nag-elementary lang kami doon karamihan. Lahat ng kapatid ko, pagdating ng high school and college, dito na kami sa Cebu nag-aaral. No? So, the whole elementary years ko, nasa Leyte lang ako. Because I graduated very early at a very young age from elementary kasi nag-grade 1 ako, Ernest. 5 years old lang ako eh. Papunta pa 6 years old pa lang ako nung nag-grade 1 ako, no? So maaga akong nag-graduate, mag-11 din ako pumasok ng first year high school dito sa Cebu. But all the while, just like any ordinary kid in the provinces or even in the cities before, yung mga sariling laro natin. Siyatong, bisikleta, tirador sa barkada, interbarangay na tirador, takbuhan, basketball, kung ano pa, swimming. No? Dahil yung lugar namin sa Maasin, Leyte, it's a coastal town and it's more, ang town is shaped more of sa length niya in the coastal, no? Mountain barangays nasa likod na rin, no? So, yeah. Except that during the summer months, I would be in Cebu because my mother is from Cebu. So I'll be here the whole time during the summer. I'll be in Cebu also playing basketball and baseball. In my elementary years, baseball and softball was really very popular here in Cebu City. So, iba-ibang sports na ang nilalaro ko since the time when I was a kid. No?
Sir Roman, what was your position?
Ano yan, Ivan?
What was your position sa baseball pala, Sir Roman, if you don't mind?
Sa baseball?
Yes.
Usually sa first base or minsan sa shortstop.
Nice.
But not too much of that. During summer lang ako nakakalaro noon because my cousins in Cebu were baseball players. Marami sa kanila mga baseball players. In fact, a few of them went to Manila to play for UST. May ka-teammate si Boy Cudinera, yung father nila Jerry Cudinera, galing din sa Cebu yun, ka-teammate ng pinsan ko yun sa Cebu when I was playing. Boyet.
Don Ramon, I have a question for you. Were you already...
Excuse
Were
me.
you already head and shoulders taller than your peers, than your contemporaries at that time? Matangkad ka na bang bata yung panahon na yun? Kumbaga, above average na yung height mo at that time?
Yes, Boyet. Compared to my contemporaries, I was much taller than them, no? That's why it was, for me, I considered it my advantage dahil yung mga like sa paglalaro ng basketball, yung mga nakakalaban ko 4, 5, 6 years older than me. So mas malalakas sila, mas magagaling sila. So madali akong natuto, no? Yeah.
Give us Don Ramon an idea of how tall were you at around the age of maybe, let's say, 10 years old, and then around 15. How tall were you at those stages of your youth?
Let me dig up my memory bank. I can't really remember exactly, but when I graduated in high school, I was 15 going 16, I think, or 16 going 17. When I graduated in high school, I was 5'10".
Wow.
No? So you can just gauge. Siguro I was about 5'2", 5'3", or maybe even less than 5 when I was 10 years old or 11 years old. But as I said, when I graduated in high school in never mind, I was 5'10", and in that summer alone, I grew 4 inches. So when I went to the University of San Carlos College to enroll, a priest who knew my older brother, who was 2 years older than me, akala niya ako yung older brother ang nakita niya. Kaya sabi niya, "Hey, Rinaldo, how are you?" I said, "No, Father, I am Ramon." She said, "Oh, Ramon, you better go see the doctor. How are you? Why are you so tall?" I cannot remember exactly, except that time, because distinctly I can remember that because of that incident, no, na pinapapunta ako ng pare, ng rector namin sa high school, sa doktor para daw magpa-check ako.
Napaaga yung growth spurt, ika nga, napaaga. But Don Ramon, was basketball, well, you already mentioned that you also played a lot of different sports. But was basketball really, so short of saying, the focus at a young age? Was that really the goal?
Yes, ever since when I was about 5 or 6, 7 years old, basketball has been my sport
of choice
na pinili, no? Due to the fact na encouraged ako, Boyet, if I'm pretty sure you remember Jake Rojas. Joaquin
Rojas.
Yes!
Oh, wow.
So, he comes from my province also. He was from Macrohon, a town next to Maasin. And when I was growing up in the elementary, every time he would go back to Maasin for vacation or whatever, we would know because my older brothers played also in college in Cebu, no? There were playmates also. There were basketball playmates also. So every time he goes home sa Maasin, madaling araw pa lang kasi ang barko dumadating ng mga alas 5, alas 6 ng madaling araw eh. Right. From Cebu, no? He was playing for UV sa Cebu ng araw. So we would know na kung uuwi siya sa Maasin, no? So maaga pa lang pupunta na kami sa pier at sasalubungan namin si Dodong Rojas. We call him Dodong Rojas. Si Dodong, dadating tomorrow. Punta tayo.
You know, Jake Rojas was one of the more successful Cebuanos who have played not only in the Mika but also in the PBA.
For the national team. Mr. Bast, I think he was Mr. Basketball twice in the mid-60s.
Yes. Yes.
Also, no?
Oo.
So yun.
I distinctly remember Jake Rojas playing for the Emerson Cosenteng organization. And eventually, nag-abot kayo sa Toyota niyan, di ba? Nag-abot pa kayo?
Of course. I think he played for us for 2 years or a year. But he played for, initially, I think, Utivo Steel.
Yes.
The time before joining Mariwaza.
The Utivo
That's right.
Opels. Wow.
So,
kayo, kaya nyo magtanong, mga boys?
Ako may tanong ako actually.
Ako. Sige, ikaw muna.
Sino?
Go.
Ako muna. So, yung you mentioned...
Ikaw muna. Yeah, pa. Go, Ivan.
Diba? Yun. So, Sir Ramon, you mentioned earlier that you had a growth spurt from 5'10 to 6 at 5'4, so just from 5'10 to essentially 6'2. So,
6'2.
Yeah, 6'2. So, and eventually 6'4, and now you're at 6'7. So the question is, did you have a hard time adjusting to your position? Because I believe 5'10 at that time, you were playing the 3 or the small forward. So, by the time you reach 6'2, you have to play power forward, eventually center in USC.
Well, in high school, Ivan, I did not play organized basketball, meaning like the CAAA, that was the NCAA or the UAAP of Cebu that time, no? The CAAA. The University of San Carlos did not join in the league, yung high school team. Sa college, kasama kami. Pero yung high school, yung boys high school, hindi sumali sa parang NCAA namin dito because yung sa San Carlos kasi sakto ang mga edad namin eh. Yung mga kalabi namin ibang eskwelahan, may mga balahibo na sa kilikili. so yung pare didn't feel like joining it, no? So it was really only in college that I played in the varsity. But in my first 2 years of high school kasi I was in the seminary, no? Sa Cebu. And we had a midget team. I was reminded a month ago by a classmate of ours na naging pare. Siya lang ang naging pare doon sa 22 or 24 classmates ko sa high school doon. Remind niya ako na yung midget team daw namin was unbeaten sa lahat ng midget teams, sa lahat ng seminaryo dito sa Cebu, sa area, or even some parts of Mindanao, no? So, nung nag-second year high school ako, pinalaro nila ako sa college team nila. So, sigurado, point guard ang laro ko nung second year high school ako sa seminary. So, that practically developed my ball handling skills also. That's where it started.
Kaya pagdating sa PBA, you know how to, kaya mong pagkakuha mo ng rebound, dire-diretso ka na sa kabilang court, no, sa opensa. Pero, eto, Don Ramon, no, may tanong ako. Sa laki nyo yan, may nambubuli ba sa inyo?
Hindi mawawala sa basketball yan. Hindi mawawala sa basketball yan. Or lalo na sa barangay leagues, sa mga fiesta na league, meron talaga. So, yun din ang nakakahasa sa akin, I believe, no? Because like, even when I was elementary, towards the end of the elementary years and high school, during the summer months, we would go around Leyte to play in the fiesta tournaments, no? So, lahat ng klaseng court, dalaruan ko na rin. And even here in Cebu, when I was in college already, when I was in college in Cebu, we would play sometimes 3 games in one day, no? Sa umaga, we would play sa isang morning league sa YMCA, and then sa hapon, merong fiesta somewhere. Sa gabi, may fiesta din. So, practically, sa jeep lang kami na sinasakyan namin nagpapahinga, no? In between games. So, talagang batak na batak.
Sir,
Okay, yung iba na, may tanong. Sino meron dyan? Sports Bureau.
Don Ramon, tanong ko lang, nung nag-uumpisa na kayong mahilig sa basketball, meron ba kayong mga sinusundan na player noon or iniidolo?
Of course, but I would just like to mention again that si Jake Rojas talaga ang naka-inspire sa akin, naka-motivate sa akin, no? Because he was already in the playing for the national team at the time. So, ang focus ko lang talaga doon, ang goal ko, ang ambisyon ko was to be able to play for flag and country for the national team, no? Yun lang naman ang ambisyon ng mga basketball players nung araw, no, sa panahon namin, no, na makakapaglaro sa national team, no. So, what was your question again?
Kung nga po, bukod sa kanila, so iniidolo niyo po sila at sinusundan nung kabataan ninyo po.
Yeah. When I was playing for college, I would seldom watch sina Bill Russell, Will Chamberlain, then came Lou Alcindor. No, so Kareem I've been following him also during the time, during these times, early 70s, no, and I wasn't watching much local basketball at the time. Wala naman masyado sa TV pa at the time, no? In the movies, pinapalabas pa sa movies dati yung mga championship games ng NBA, no? So I was able to see a few games at the time and read in the newspapers, no? So yun lang. But it was really basically my goal, my ambition to reach the national team that really pushed me to improve my craft. No?
Okay, thank you po. And yung iba po kasi nagkakaroon ng mga mentor. Kayo po, paano po ba yung development ng basketball skills nyo, yung inyong basic at saka fundamental sa basketball? Paano nyo po siya natutunan?
Basically, self-taught up to high school. Pagdating ng college, meron na kaming coach, siyempre, no? And I was in first year college, tinuruan ako ng coach namin who used to play for Chelsea. Do you remember the team, Boyet? Chelsea? Si Whitey de las Peñas. He came from the University of San Carlos also. So he taught me how to run. Kasi medyo parang flat-footed ang takbo ko, you know? Hindi inaangat yung paa, no? So he would make me run around the court, the quadrangle, cemented court, 60 times every morning, 60 rounds. And then came on my second year sa University of San Carlos, iba naman si Coach Dodong Aquino. Si Coach Dodong was the bayaw of Lauro Mumar, Coach Lauro Mumar. So one time, dumating si Coach Lauro doon sa practice namin at tinuruan kami. Basically, yung dalawang coaches na yun, because on my third year, I went to Manila na no? College. No? So, yeah, in my second year college, yung si Dodong Aquino was the one who drilled me to shoot the hook shot around the basket, no? In the three angles around the basket. So, halos every day, every practice namin, we would practice that for 15 to 20 minutes, I suppose, no? So, basically, those were the formal coaches that I learned a few tricks.
From being in Cebu and eventually coming to Manila, when you already found out or you already knew that you were going to go to Manila, what were your expectations? What were the thoughts that were running in your mind that you have to like migrate to Manila, the big city, the dream of any and every athlete that comes from the provinces? What were your thoughts? What were you feeling at that time?
When I was in second year college already, Boyd, I knew already that I can compete with the best of the best at the time, no? Especially during the summer of that year, after my second year during the summer, hindi ko na sasabihin kasi yung taon eh. Kaya nahihirapan ako eh. I was already playing in the commercial leagues in Cebu in my first 2 years of college here. So every time there's a Manila team that would come down, napasama na ako sa Cebu selection, no? So it just so happened that in the summer of that year, when I was in second year college, nagpunta ang San Miguel Braves of Ning Ramos. Di ba? Ang mga players noon, sila Manny Paner, puro Bisaya, karamihan.
Manny
Diba?
Paner,
Toyong,
you had at that time Alejandrito
Miego. Miego was there.
Miego was there already.
Velasco,
Estoy Estrada, I think, was also there at that time.
Estoy Estrada, yes. So we played against them in an exhibition game here in Cebu. And it just so happened that after our game, hinatak na ako ni Coach Ning Ramos at mag-dinner kami sa restaurant in front of the gym of University of San Carlos. Hindi na niya ako pinakawalan. He wanted me to do my what do they call that? Residency in San Sebastian, and at the same time a member of the farm team of San Miguel, no? So practically my third year of college, the first semester I was in San Sebastian and farm team of San Miguel. That's why if you remember, sige na nga, sabihin ko na nga, in the National Seniors of 1973, because the National Seniors is the last tournament of the calendar at the time.
Yes, that's the last tournament every year.
Every year, no. But in reality, November pa lang of 1972, after the youth, we won the youth championships of 1972, kinuha na ako ng Toyota kasi. But nakiusap si Ning Ramos na pwede ba daw ako maglaro muna for the national seniors. Then after that, lilipat na ako sa Toyota for the regular Mika na. No? So, okay naman. So, tatlo kami, Norby Rivera, and Jimmy Otaso. We were the guest players from the NCAA to play for San Miguel in the national seniors. And luckily, nakatsamba naman, nag-champion kami ang San Miguel Braves on. I'm proud to say that that was the very first championship that San Miguel won ever since they joined the basketball league in Manila, the big leagues in Manila, no? But it was cut short because yun nga, guest player lang nila ako doon. Pag-start ng season ng Mika, I played na for Toyota Comets then.
You just mentioned a name that not many people have on their lips or on their memory banks anymore. Norberto Norby Rivera. Can you just give us a slight glimpse of how good Norby was? Because he was a if I'm not mistaken, he was a combo guard, can play 1 or 2, and had a very potent jump shot. That's what I remember about Norby.
Yeah, as a backgrounder, he was the son of I forgot the first name of Mr. Rivera, who was a staff of Coach Ning Ramos in San Miguel, no? Paquito, I think. Paquito Rivera, no? But he was good. He was a mainstay of San Sebastian at the time.
Correct.
A good shooter, very strong body, no? And very quick, very good player, no? So, yun. And Jimmy Otaso, of course.
We just talked about Jimmy Otaso about a week ago. Binanggit din natin Jimmy Otaso. Kwento ko sa inyo na yung balbasarado na may balbas si Jimmy. Yun ang unang makita mo, balbasarado. Dati, mga player na kasi, bigote lang. Si Jaime Otasu, may
Ito,
balbasarado. Mukhang kontrabida sa sine. Parang gano'n.
Correct. So,
Wow.
yun.
So,
pero gusto ko naman si
time,
Sir.
that time, Don
Sige,
Ramon,
Sir Boyet. Go.
in between playing as a guest player for San Miguel, and the transition from the San Miguel being a guest player to Toyota in the Mika, was the Olympics there already for you?
I played
Was qualified, or were you already being considered to play for the 72 team? The Olympics?
It's like this, Boyet.
Mm.
In 1972, I was a member of the youth team.
Yes.
So 72, there was also a men's team.
Yes.
Yung that went to the Olympics.
To Munich, yeah. That went to
To
Munich.
Munich. In fact, before the Munich team left for Germany, nagkaroon ng exhibition game sa Loyola, fundraising game, youth team versus the men's team. Kung hindi kinausap ni President Lito Puyat yung mga referee, tatalunin pa namin yung men's team ng youth team. We lost by 1 point, no? Napakalakas ng youth team namin, no?
Sino kayo doon? Just refresh our memories. Sino kayo sa youth team? It was you? Who else?
Si Atoy, si Philip, si Carvajal, si
Wow.
Noblesada, si Ompong Segura was with me.
Yun.
Si Rino Salazar, Jimmy Noblesada,
Lakas na.
Diputado,
Wow.
who else? Ray Franco, Joy Junicio.
Lakas nga.
Sino ko ba yun?
Ang lakas nyo nga.
Malakas-lakas yun.
Malakas
I'm
nga
sorry
yun.
if I don't remember the others.
Pero that was a strong team.
Very, very strong team.
And on the other side, on the men's team, the tallest was 6'4", Jimmy Mariano.
Jimmy Mariano, exactly.
And for your team, Carvajal was Ed Carvajal was 6'6", 6'7".
6'6" at the time.
Wow.
But anyway, so that's the Olympics is really the only tournament that I missed, Boyet, because 1976 nasunod na Olympics, wala na, pro na tayo nung 75.
Right.
So that's actually the tournament that I missed, no, the Olympics. No? Ang pinakamaganda pa naman sana, but it's alright.
It's okay.
Anyway, before anything else, we would like to recognize, sinabi nyo rin, Ompong Segura nandyan. Nandito ngayon. Ompong Segura. Sir, magandang gabi sa inyo ngayon.
Hi, good evening. Commissioner, good evening. Boyet, how are you? Ernest,
Repa,
Ivan, how are you?
Repa, kumusta Repa?
Dito po.
I'm good. Kamusta Cebu?
Ayos lang.
Paminsan-minsan ka na lang pumupunta ng Manila.
Oo nga eh. Di bale, in 15 to 20 days, I'll be back. Mabalik ako dyan.
Good. Boyet, tama ng buhok natin ngayon
Ako, Boss Ompong, mahaba na.
Mukhang hindi ka na magpapagupit
Wala na. Ginagaya ko yung hairdo ni Don Ramon nung 1977. Kaya lang yung kay Don Ramon, malago yun eh, malago.
Boyet, bigyan mo naman kami ni Ompong ng buhok.
Mas mahaba buhok ni Gil Cortez.
Ayan, nandito na rin. Mr. Gil Cortez, magandang gabi.
Hello to everyone. Ernest, Brian, Emerson, Idol Boyet, Ivan and Mark, no? Andito na naman ako. At maggugulo sa ating panauhin ang aking matalik na kaibigan, si Idol Don Ramon.
Repang Hill, kumusta?
Okay lang.
Kumusta mga kaibigan natin sa Angeles?
Okay lang. They're doing well. Sina Robin and Francis, they're okay.
Kumusta mo ako kay Robin, kay Bong at si Francis pagbalik mo?
Yes, I'll do that. Oo.
Okay.
Boyet.
Yes, sir.
Noong summer of 1972, pinipick up ako ni Governor ni Pumuseno ng Pampanga from Manila to play in Angeles City.
Ligang labas.
Ligang labas, oo. So, 1972 pa lang, naglalaro na ako dyan sa Angeles City. Well, it was a gym before, but naging rice mill yun, Hill, no?
Actually, yun ang Angeles University Foundation ngayon. That's where they're gonna hold the the
PBA apparently.
bubble.
PBA bubble currently. Yep.
Ganda lang ngayon. Dati makita mo yung mga nanonood sa atin noon makita mo yung anong tawag dito, yung venue parang kahoy lang, di ba?
Yeah.
Tapos may isang aso dun sa taas, yung Great Dane. Yan ang tawag sa kanila, di ba?
Okay.
Alam mo, nabanggit ko sa kanila yan na nagkasama tayo. Sabi ko, that's why I was telling them that I was trying to copy your movement during our practice. But I was so young then. I was just 15 years old siguro that time, di ba?
That's right.
Tapos, alam mo, maganda rin yung kasama namin na nakuha ang isang import din Besides Mon, nasa amin si Dave Supnet.
Wow!
Played for San Sebastian.
Wow!
Yeah, so
yung mga bagets hindi walang light bulb moment sa kanila si Dave Supnet. Wow, si Dave.
Kasi meron yan. May naalala si Coach Emer pa.
Boyet.
May naalala mo si Dave Supnet?
Actually, Dave Supnet is one of the most improved player awardee of PBA.
Yes.
Boyet.
Don Ramon.
Teammate kami ni Dave Supnet supposed to be doon sa San Sebastian.
No. So pero it should have happened. It should have happened.
We had a good amateur basketball games in league in Pampanga din. Parang Mika ng Pampanga 'yon, no? Siyempre kukunin namin yung malakas na mga imports, si Don Ramon and Dave Supnet because we lack height, no? Ang kalaban namin sa Johnny's Grocery, yung mga ibang teams, sina Rolly Canen, the brother of Rene. Atoy ko played for Johnny's. Tapos naglalaro din si Rata. Andun, maraming naglalaro na mga taga Mika.
Ikaw Boss Ompong. Sir Ompong, ikaw ba napapaligang labas ka din dati?
Saan?
Nakakapagligang labas ka din dati?
Before, kaya lang madalas ako sa Pampanga, sa Pampanga rin. Naglaro ako diyan.
Santa Ana. Naglaro ko sa Santa Ana.
Sa San Jose, diyan sa may San Fernando. Maganda yung liga diyan. Every time na maglalaro ka, punong-puno yung plaza. So, I miss those days no? Yung dami-daming nanonood. Pero
ngayon, naglalaroan yung semento.
Semento.
Boyet, nung naglaro yan sa Pampanga, sina Repang Ompong, tatlo yan, magkakapatid. Si Tommy, at saka si Bobby.
Tatlo kami.
Tatlo. Kinukuhang import to play for the Intertown dahil Kapampangan yung nanayata nila. So, naglalaro sila for Santa Ana. One of the towns.
Wow.
Alam mo kung magkano anong bayad sa amin?
Ano,
sports sacks lang. Isang sports sack at pakain at saka pamasahe.
May pakain ba pagkatapos?
May pakain, siyempre. May pakain bago mo
How nice. How do you, when you look back on those days, Don Ramon, Hill, and Sir Ompong, when you look back on those days, when life was less complicated, when the simplicity of just wanting to be able to play the game at whatever level it was, comparatively to how you started playing in the bigger leagues, what was that comparative for you? How does it make you think now, looking back on those days?
Well, it was a nice feeling, no? At the same time, yung makapaglaro ka during that league, talagang nahahasa ka. So pagdating mo sa mga collegiate games na, medyo ka na kasi sanay ka na sa mga larong labas It's a good break for us.
Don Ramon, do you ever get used to how referees call the games at that level, and then you progress to more organized leagues like the Mika and the PBA? Do you ever get used to how referees interpret the call?
Yes, definitely. I learned that early in my career, boy. Even in the barangay leagues, mas grabe pa nga siguro, mas masahol pa nga siguro, no? I used to say the only consistent thing in a basketball game are the inconsistent calls of the referees. be it amateur or professional. Maybe I'll give it a little less in the professional leagues, but it's really the most consistent inconsistency. No?
Tama
So,
yan, tama yan.
You just have to learn how
To adjust.
be patient, no? It's not only fishing. It's not only fishing that teaches you to be patient. Basketball will teach you also a lot of patience.
Tapos, Hill, para sa'yo, yung ganyan ba, as you progress in your chosen career, and you retired early, was getting calls in your favor or not in your favor such a was there
deal?
such a difference as you moved up through the ranks?
Kasi kuminsan, no, like for example, if kuminsan you're playing well, very well, no? Tapos may tawag na hindi maganda, sinasabi nga ni Commissioner Mon, nasisira yung momentum mo, no? Nasisira. Yung inconsistency nga na tawagan, it only doesn't sa mga mature referees natin, no? Even sa professional makikita mo. Even in the FIBA, kuminsan may makikita kang tao.
Ayun naman.
Tapos tatawagan ng ganun. Marami.
So you consider that, Boyet, na lang as breaks of the game.
Yun. Sa laro.
Yun talaga. Yun na lang yun. Parang naalala ko tuloy yung sama ng loob ko nung sa napakadami championship ng Toyota sa Mika. Tinalo na yung team ko na Crispa. Crispa ako eh. Crispa kasi ako eh. So, naku, ibaga, mamaya natin pagkikwento yung Toyota. Mamaya. Pero, boys, sino yung gusto magtanong? Masyado ako nagtatanong eh. Kayo?
Actually, may gusto magpakita ng litrato, no? Alam mo naman, si Sir Hill, no, kapag nagpapakita ng litrato to, ninenervyos eh. No, Coach Emer, ano yung mapapakita nating litrato dyan?
Yun!
Ngayon
wow! Yan yung
Yun
guest
yung
player siya.
Yun yung San Miguel Braves, yes.
Yan yung guest player ka.
Correct.
Wow! Precious photo. Ano yung sapatos mo, Converse?
Elpo. Hindi ko na maalala.
Elpo!
Converse yata yan, Converse. Noon, yun ang naglalaban eh. Di ba? Elpo at
saka Converse lang.
Yes.
Wow. Ano ka dito? Com Ramon, mga 18?
17 going 18 or 18 going 19, mga ganun.
Wow. Madami ka na chicks niyan? Madami ka na ba chicks niyan?
Yun.
Nagkaroon ako ng chicks nung nag-poultry na lang ako eh. Dahan-dahan kayo sa mga tanong.
No names. We will not mention names. Picture. Labasin mo ka picture.
Ano pa yan? Mukhang unang litrato pa lang eh.
Nataranta tuloy si Emerson eh.
Yun o.
Yan o.
Wow. 84 yan.
84 pa. Most playing time, most rebounds. No? Ano ka agad eh, no? Nandun eh.
Ako, I will agree with that headline.
One man naging crew nun si Sermon. I followed that.
I will agree with that headline. Most definitely.
Sunod-sunod na lang natin yung pictures ni Sermon.
Sige, banat.
Sige, tira. Mythical 5.
Aha.
Mythical 5.
Go 5.
Walang year no?
Oh, si
Ayan.
Juntan!
Juntan, that's correct.
Juntan, no?
And
Ito is Guerra!
Kaya sabi si Sir Mon talagang yung pagdi-dribble niya, di ba?
Point guard na point guard yung forma eh.
Oo, pero yung stance. Yung stance. Oo. Wow. Galing.
Tanduay.
Tanduay na to.
Tanduay.
Medyo mix yung iba eh. Ito, itong picture na to medyo ano eh. It's 1986 Mythical 5 to. The third time, Sir Mon Fernandez. And a Mythical 5 noon.
Coach Emer, nakailang mythical selection ba si Don Ramon?
Oh. More than 10 eh. Basta, okay na.
Wow.
Hirap na bilangin.
Wow. Wow.
Kahit ano, yung encyclopedia natin nahirapan mag-load.
16.
Sabi ni Sir Mon, pinapanood niya si Karim Abdul-Jabbar before. Kaya siguro may kuwang ganito si ano eh. May Sir Mon.
Si Coach Dudong Aquino nagturo sa akin ng usap.
Tapos sa bantay niya dito si Jimmy Javier.
Correct.
Late Jimmy Javier.
The late Jimmy Javier. Yes. When you were playing already for Toyota at kasama mo na itong dalawang mga erap mo dito, si Boss Hill at si Boss Ompong. For the three of you, gentlemen, for the three of you, without saying that your other teammates are not as good. But what for you, for the three of you, what would be the dream team of Toyota? Who would compose that dream team of Toyota?
Sino kaya pwede sumagot agad? Nagtinginan eh.
Sino ang team Toyota
nagsasagot eh.
Mahirap sabihin, guys eh. It's hard to say, no? So might as well leave that to the basketball fans to figure out for themselves and argue among themselves.
Ito na lang, Don Ramon. Sino paborito mo kasama sa quarter sa Bel Air?
Ang pinakabarkada ko talaga dyan, si Ompong. Una kaming nagka-teammate ni Ompong, 72 pa and then 73. Si Hale came 76 na eh. Then kaming tatlo na nung dumating sila. Kami ang magkakabarkada talaga doon dahil puro kami binata at the time when we were there.
Tell us stories about how Bel Air was because for the young people here kasi the recollection of how teams would have quarters was fleeting.
Yung Bel Air, second quarters na namin yan eh.
Ano yung una? Sa Ompong?
Yung Lorenzo, sa San Lorenzo, sa Balmori Street.
Sa San Lo!
Oo, San Lorenzo.
Right.
Near ano ba yan? Repang Hill?
Assumption!
Yan! Yee!
So, marami kaming kaibigan from Assumption kasi pagka-break nila, nagpupunta walking distance lang yung quarters namin. Nagpupunta sila doon. So, very accommodating naman yung mga Toyota. Nagbibigay ng ng autograph kung gusto humingi ng autograph o pakuha ng pictures. Yan,
less than 100 meters from our quarters yun, Boyet eh.
Sa quarters.
So umi-standby din kayo sa park?
Oh, sa park.
Siyempre.
In short shorts.
Kasi ako, before becoming a Toyota player, in 1975, I was with the Philippine team. Nag-coach ako ng Assumption.
Talaga?
Yes, sa may park, di ba? May
sa park yung practice nila eh. Doon sila pa-practice.
Doon kami nag-iinsayo. May kwento ako diyan sa Balmoring yan. Di totoy na totoy ako pagdating ko. Off-season. Katatapos lang ata, umuwi si Snake Jones. So, nung pagdating ko sa Balmori, sa Sanlo, binigay sa akin yung kwarto niya doon sa may, Mon, di ba? Remember yung may veranda yun eh.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Sa taas.
Sa taas, pagbukas mo, makikita mo na yung harapan ng kalye at saka yung
Correct.
sa ilalim yung garahe.
Correct.
There was one time, nung pagdating ko doon, the following, siguro mga 2 or 3 days, paggising ko, binuksan ko yung tawag doon, yung veranda. Nakita ko, daming mga mistisa doon sa baba. Hindi ko alam paano ako magre-react. Ang daming naghanap. Hinahanap pala, hindi ako, hindi si Mon. Hinahanap si Francis Arnaiz na mga mistisa. Ang daming memories doon sa
Balmori.
At saka,
meron kaming billiard.
That's where I learned yung mga music namin ni Mon, yung mga Earth, Wind and Fire.
Yan!
Top James.
Boyet, ang remember siguro nila ni Hale at ni Ompong, ang napangasawa ni Oscar Rocha, up to now, wife niya, Assumptionista, galing doon. Doon niya na-meet.
Talaga? Wow!
Nagbunga. Bel Air Stories. Yan.
Matulis.
San Lorenzo ba yan? San
Lorenzo. Matulis pala yung Oscar Rocha.
Ernest, yun yung si Rocha, yun yung nag-start nag-spark ng gulo ng Toyota.
Away.
Yun, siya yun.
Si Oscar Rocha.
Ang asawa nun, Assumptionista, tama si Commissioner.
Ikaw, Sir Ompong, kasi si Boss Hill, nakakwentuhan na namin last time. Kayong dalawa ni Boss Ramon ang kailangan naming gisahin ng gisahin. Nung napasok ka sa Toyota, naglalaro ka na sa Mika nun eh. You were already playing for other teams in the Mika.
Nung nasa college, during my college days, nasa 7-up ako. During Nilo Verona's coaching club, no? Tapos, napunta si Nilo Verona sa 7-up. So, napunta naman ako sa 7-up. So, during that time, hindi pa ako naglalaro.
Ompong, hindi ba coach mo si Nilo, Coach Nilo sa Adamson?
Nilo Verona, Adamson coach. So, yun, after that, naging coach siya ng Toyota. Pinasok na kami. Tapos, yan, doon kami nakita-kita nila, Commissioner, nila Hill. At ng mga bago, sila Francis, si Jaworski. Yun.
So, sa inyo, amongst the three of you, of course, Gil Cortez is the youngest. He's the last one to enter the team amongst the three of you. The original Toyota Comets in the Mika. For the life of me, I now cannot remember who the coach was. Sino ba unang coach ng Toyota Comets? Komatsu pa lang. Komatsu Comets.
Ang pag-alam ko si Nilo Verona na the late Nilo Verona na Kasama pa namin dyan, you remember si Nat Canson, kasama namin sa Komatsu yan.
Sino kayo nun? Who were the first batch of players for Komatsu?
From Meralco, Boyet, Jaworski, Francis Arnaiz, Fort Acuña,
right.
Big Boy Reynoso, Orly Bauson, Joseph Galonga. Nandun na yun kong, no? Ha?
Roberto Concepcion.
Roberto Concepcion.
Bobot Acosta.
Si Kanyamo.
Si Ed Kanyamo.
Ulysses Rodriguez.
Yuli Rodriguez,
Tino Reynoso.
During Comacho days, yan yung unang-unang
Yes.
Rocha.
Yun, isa pa.
Yun yung
Oscar Rocha, yan.
Wow.
Tanda pa. Ano pa? Yan yung maganda kapag collective nakukumpleto yung yung roster.
Yung lineup nakukumpleto.
Alam ko yung lineup nila kasi
ibig ko
pinafollow
sabihin,
ko
mga senior citizen na, makalimutin.
Ikaw, Coach Emer, ano naalala mo sa Komatsu?
Si
Coach Emer. Coach Emer, sino naalala mo sa Komatsu?
Tama yun, mga mostly Meralco players.
Ex-Meralco yun
Very colorful ang uniform ng Komatsu. Ang
Itim.
ganda na yun.
Ganda,
Ang ganda
ganda.
ng uniform nila.
Itim and yellow, di ba?
Yeah.
Oh, black
But
and yellow.
I did not
Dress.
Black and gold.
I did not play for Komatsu Comets, Boyet, because I played for San Miguel.
Yes, you
Yung
played San
Komatsu
Miguel.
Comets, naglaro yon first tournament nila, naglaro sila sa National Seniors.
Seniors.
I was with San Miguel.
San Miguel.
After that, then Toyota Comets na, I joined them already.
Oo.
Hey, Sir Mon, may pakikita lang ang picture kasi si Coach Ompong, hindi niya maalala tong picture na to.
Yun.
Nakikita ko lang uli. Nakita
Tignan mo,
na ni Sir
tignan mo.
Ompong to.
Tingnan nga.
Tignan mo.
Hindi nakipakita nung gines namin si Sir Ompong.
Wow.
Yan ba?
So, Sir
Yan,
Mon,
yan.
Yan yung
kasi ang tanong ko kay Coach Ompong, bakit walang nanonood dito sa game na to?
Araneta yan no?
Yan yata yung closed door eh.
Oh, Araneta. Parang naglaro tayo repa ng closed door eh. I can't recall na eh. Paano?
Teka muna. Sino-sino yan? Okay, starting from right. Big Boy, Sonny Jaworski, Oscar Rocha. Sino pong isang to?
Not Canson.
Canson.
As in Nat Canson! Wow! Oh, Lord!
Tatanda mo yan, repang heel.
Oh.
Natatanda mo po ba yan?
closed door game.
I wasn't part of the team yet.
Pero ang tanong, bakit nagkaroon ng closed door game?
Suntukan. Suntukan yan. Pinischedule yung laro.
Prior to
No,
that game, merong
I don't-
magulong game kaya ginawang closed door.
Oh, hindi ko malaala eh.
Hindi,
Kung
ang tagal na
bakit
kasi.
nagkaroon because
Si Emerson, ang hirap nung eh.
I don't
Nakita mo ni Emerson
remember
yung picture na yun,
I don't remember nagkaroon ng rumble in the Mika in the amateur days. I can't recall. But most probably because closed door ka mo eh.
Closed door to eh. Tsaka, ito pa yung walang aircon ng Araneta. Oo, wala pang aircon yan. Ito yung wala pang aircon. Oo. Wala pang aircon ang Araneta at that time. This time, if this probably was about 73 or 74. This is pre-PBA.
Probably.
Why?
Yeah.
Because Nat Canson is playing.
Sa nare-recall ko, Sir Boyet, Mika days to, Mika days.
Before PBA ito kasi naglalaro si Nat Canson.
Before PBA.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, this is a precious. Wow, Nat Canson. I'm just blown away by seeing Nat Canson in a Toyota uniform. That blows me away.
Yes.
Wow. Galing!
Masarap din kasama yan si Nat Canson eh. Oh. Talagang nakakatuwa pag nagkukwento. So, namimiss ko rin siya. Patagay ko nasa Indonesia na siya nakatira eh.
Ngayon, Pong?
Oh, parang ganun.
Kasi
wag pag sumama ka ni Kanso ng 5 oras, mabibilog na yung ulo mo. Sa magaling magkwento yun si natin. Napakasayang kasama eh. Boy, si Nat Canson, si Sonny Jaworski, at yung older brother ko na si Carlito, they were roommates at the UARM. They played for UA.
For UE.
Dalupan, from 65 to 67.
Which makes a lot of people now wonder eh. Why did Sonny Jaworski not eventually end up with Crispa?
That's correct.
A lot of
That's
people
correct.
to this day wonder about why Jaworski did not end up with Crispa.
Yeah,
But apparently, he played for Crispa for some tournament, right, Emerson Purina? He played for a bit for Crispa. But for a very short, guest player siya.
Guest player din, Boyet.
Guest player siya. But that transition, gentlemen, that transition from the Mika coming into the PBA, the team owners from the Mika days bolting the PBA because of the scandals that rocked the Mika, the fisticuffs. the point shaving scandals that rocked the tournament at that time forced a lot of the team owners to form what is now the PBA.
Boyet,
Yes, sir.
kaya nagtayo ang mga team owners ng PBA because at that time, when we played for the national team in 1973, there were 4 of us from Toyota.
Yes.
Ako, si Big Boy, si Jaworski, and Francis Ernais. Sa Crispa, 2, si Bogs, at saka si Abet. Sa San Miguel, 2 din, si Manny at si Dave Regaliano.
Si Yoyong.
Ang Yoyong, 3 pala. So, nung nag-champion kami noong 1973, hindi na binuwag ni Boss Lito Puyat ang team the whole year of 1974 to prepare for the World Basketball Championships in Puerto Rico in 1974. So hindi nila kami pinaglaro sa mother teams namin the whole year of 1974. So anong chance ng Toyota at ng Crispa sa Mika? And that's the main league na sinasalihan namin, no? Parang naging problema din ngayon. Bumalik yung history. History repeated itself, no? The national team picking up from the PBA players. That was the same thing before. The BAP was picking up from the teams.
The commercial leagues, yeah.
The commercial leagues to form the national team. So that was really the main reason why nabuo yung PBA.
Wow. So history repeats itself. Kayo, Sir Ompong, ilang national team na nasalihan nyo?
Ano lang ako, mga 2. RPU at saka isang Philippine team na naglaro sa somewhere in Taiwan, Taipei. Nung araw, Taipei pa yun eh.
Hindi ba to, ano ba yun sa Taipei, sa Taiwan? Hindi ba Jones Cup yun?
During that time, Taipei pa sila eh.
Hindi pa Jones Cup noon, no? Hindi ka ba nagpesta sukan? Hindi ka ba nagpesta sukan?
Hindi yata ako nagpesta.
Hindi ka nagpesta sukan. Ikaw, Don Ramon, hindi ka nagpesta sukan dahil angat kakagad sa Team A eh.
Sa main team, sa national team.
Team A ka kagad eh, Team A. Hindi ka nalagay sa Team B. Sa Team A ka kagad. Boys! O Mark! Tanong naman Mark! O Ivan! Brian! Tanong naman kayo, boys.
Si Coach Emer.
Yes, sir. Pagkaan ko ang Pesta Sukan, parang nag-start yan 1975 na.
Okay.
And then,
It was already after the PBA that the Pesta Sukan was.
Nagkaroon ng Pesta Sukan.
Hindi ba predecessor yan, Emer, sa SEA Games?
No.
Hindi naman?
No, sir.
Basketball lang ang Pesta Sukan?
Ang SEA Games, 1977 tayo unang sumali dyan eh.
Okay.
So, yung Pesta Sukan pala, Emerson, short league
lang yan. Short league lang. Yung SEA Games, parang Asian Games, di ba?
Emerson, I don't know if I'm right. Ang Pesta Sukan nagumpisa before 75 because if I remember right, usually kasi pag Philippine team, 2 team yan eh. The blue and the white team. The blue and the white team.
Yes.
Ang blue yun ang main yun ang main team talaga
Team
ng
A.
Team A.
Probably 72, 73 nandiyan na yan. Because sila si Estoy Estrada played
Rudy
for
Soriano.
the Pesta Sukan eh.
Rudy Soriano. Yes, Tapos kami 75.
Parang
kami dahil everybody turned pro. Nag-75, nag-Pesta Sukan kami.
Parang preparation for Asian Games and ABC Games ang Pesta Sukan eh. No?
Okay.
During our time, isa na lang ang team kasi nag-professional lahat. So, right after Pesta Sukan, kami nag-represent ng ABC, 8 ABC, which is 8 FIBA Asia. So, isang team lang yun. So, 75. Pero alam ko, mga 72, 73, nandyan na yung Pesta Sukan because of...
I remember 72, nandyan na yan. 73.
What were your most
Yun ang
memorable moments playing for flag and country, gentlemen? Give us an instance wherein you just felt, of course, for Mon Fernandez, it was 73. The Manila...
72, Boyet.
The 72, sir?
Youth team.
A youth team? Was
Kami
that,
nila
was
Ompong.
that more memorable for you than the 73 men's team?
For me, yes, because it was the culmination of sorts sa dream ko na makapaglaro sa national team at that young age. Pasensya na rep ang Ompong, pero yung youth team namin, ako lang ang totoong 18 years old doon.
Hindi siya Repang Mon, si Repang Ompong overage.
Oo naman.
Overage ako doon, mga 1 year lang, gano'n.
O mga 1 year lang yan. Ang pinakamatanda yata natin doon pong si Joy Junicio at saka si Renee Franco, no?
Oh.
Kasama ba natin si Mike Bilbao pong?
Si Mike kasama natin eh. Pero wala na akong balita kay Mike eh. Is anybody in the body na may balita kay Mike, ano? Kay
Wala,
Bilbao?
alam ko nasa States na yun after his accident eh.
Nagkaroon ng accident, vehicular accident.
Mike is doing well.
He's doing well.
He's doing very well. Some of our colleagues were able to interview him on social media. Ang daldal. Ang daldal na yun.
Talaga.
Ayan, tawag doon sa 1972 youth, Gayouth. Hindi youth.
Sir Mon, meron kayong teammates no na Olimpio pangalan, di ba?
Olimpio Santos?
Olimpio Santos.
Yeah.
Hindi ko yata siya naging teammate. I don't remember what team.
He played for Jose Rizal.
Youth team, 1972.
Youth?
Meron ba po? Meron ba po?
As far as I know, Olimpio. Ang first name niya, I can't remember the last name eh. Olimpio.
Olimpio Santos.
Dapat makita yan
Maliit
sa
siya, maliit.
Yeah, shooter yan.
Santos na yata.
Shooter yan sa Manila Back. Olimpio Santos.
Olimpio Santos is.
I don't remember kung nasa team namin. Pwede naman i-google yan makikita naman yan
Kita naman yung lineups.
Yeah. But I remember there was an Olimpio Santos before.
Okay, Brian, baka may gusto mong isingit sa mga to.
Actually, sinisave ko yung questions ko doon sa Brawl.
Sa Brawl.
Doon ko sinisave. Pero hindi, yung ano na sa akin is yung tatanong na rin ni Boyet, yung memorable. Kumbaga siguro ang tanong ko lang sa kanila is, what is the best thing you remember when the three of you were still with Toyota playing together? That was in 76 yata.
76.
Won't you forget from the time that you were all playing together in one team?
Sa akin, yung Cinderella
basketball ba o sa...
Yan na!
Wala kaming maalala masyado. Brian, wala kaming maalala.
Dissect natin.
sa basketball, wala kaming maalala masyado eh.
Kasi,
yung sa labas.
oh, yun na lang.
Marami.
Hindi, biro lang.
Sir Ompong may sinasabi. Ano yung naaalala niyo, Sir Ompong?
Hindi, yung pinakamasaya sa amin yung Cinderella finish namin, siyempre, di ba? Yun yung first time na...
73.
1973 yun no?
At I don't know, Boyet. Correct. Go ahead, Pong.
Yan, yung pinakamagandang ano sa amin. Pero kung tatanungin niyo yung mga on the sides, napakahabang kwentuhan yan.
Simulan mo na.
Boyet, yung binabanggit ni Ompong na Cinderella finish namin, I don't know kung nabasa mo sa post ko nung nag-pass on si Coach Orly.
Orly.
Hindi ko lang maalala kung sino yung kalaban namin sa semifinals. Last second, na-shoot ni Orly yung last basket at nanalo kami. That's why we moved to the championship to play against the Motorola's. Hindi ko maalala po ngayon. Naalala mo ba yun?
Hindi na yung...
Basta
Buzzer
siya,
beater ni Orly Bauson.
buzzer beater niya ang nakapadala sa amin sa championships that time. Yeah.
Against the Concepcion Motorolas.
Motorolas, that's correct.
Wow! That was 770. Oh, Marcelo na nun. Oh, Marcelo na nun.
73.
Oh.
Marcelo.
How was that? By the way, let's touch on playing during the martial law years.
Yeah.
How was that for three young men at the peak of their careers?
Oh,
But the political landscape was, we were under martial law.
During the time, the martial law days, meron kaming passes. May pass kami, curfew pass. Di ba, may curfew during that time. Kami, wala kaming curfew. Lumalabas kami mga after 12 o'clock. Wala nang tao sa labas.
At alam ko kung saan kayo nagpupunta.
Yun!
Oh my gosh!
Saan?
Eto na, isa-isayin natin.
Siyempre, yung mga walang masakyan, hindi ba? Yung mga naghahanap ng masakyan.
Nirepang Ompong, kinukwento niya yan dahil kumisan mahuhuli kami. Galing kami sa circuit or sa may lobby.
Yan! Circuit mismo! Sa hayat!
Inabutan mo na yan, boy.
Nandun naman yung mga boss.
Sa circuit
invite kami ni Coach Dante.
Siyempre
Dalawang shot na scotch. Tapos, uwi na kami. Sakin namin yung kotse ni Mon, yung macho machine.
Yan!
Oh, macho.
Kung minsan hinahabol namin yung curfew, hindi namin makuha-kuha. Pagbaba namin from Pasay, going down to the Magallanes Bridge, may Metrocom doon. Oo. Yung sa Alpha Land yun, supposedly Toyota building yan, di ba?
Correct.
Huhuli kami. Pag nakita kami, gagawin na, medyo kilala kami, binibigyan namin ng mga tickets.
Siyempre!
Tapos, papalisin kami. Ang pinaka-last namin, dahil uwi kami ng Balmori, is yung Kowloon.
Siyempre! Makati Avenue.
Oo, sa may malapit sa quad. Doon kami. Tapos, kakain kami.
Siopaw, tsaka Lomi.
Si Ernest yata hindi inabot yung quad eh.
Inabot ko yung quad. Inabot ko. Nakakain din ako ng Kowloon. Ewan ko pero alam ko yung Kowloon pag ginabi ko.
Yung mga player ng Toyota, ito lang mapinupuntahan yan. Circuit? O kaya pupunta ng Q.
Yun.
Circuit, Q. Nabagit ko rin kay Hilto eh. Minsan, pag medyo napapadpad din ng Velvet Slam. Yan, napapadpad ng Velvet Slam.
Ang Velvet Slam kasi, Boyet, medyo late na yon, no? Ang
later na yan eh.
Ang mga nauna, even yung Q, nauna circuit. Tapos meron kami memorable...
Late 70s na si Q eh. Late 70s na yun.
Ito, alam pa ni Repang Monto tsaka ni Ompong.
Where else?
Where else, of course?
Where else?
Oh no.
Yun ang original.
Kasi katabi lang namin ng San Lorenzo yun.
Oo.
Tapos, Repang Mon, meron pang isa. Kung alam mo pa. Yung doubles.
Wow, sa likod na Shakey's.
Sa likod na Shakey's. Alam mo, meron kaming memorable
You may slide the entrance in the slide.
Pakinggan nyo. Sama namin ni Kuya si Ompong at saka si Snake Jones. Yung doubles, tama ka, may slide yun. Nakainom na kami, instead of opting to get the stairs, nag-slide kami. Ang pinakahuling nag-slide si Snake Jones. So di kami, tama-tama lang. Laki niya. Ang liit ng lugar na yun. Lahat ng tao nakatingin kung sinong bababa sa slide. Pagdating ni Snake Jones, na gano'n, lagapak si Snake Jones. Tumingin lahat ng mga tao, tinitingnan. Tapos pagtayo niya, kasi si Snake Jones mahusay sumayaw. Gumanin siya para yung robot.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. Tapos kumagano siya. Makikita mo pati yung lighting. Palakpakan yung mga tao. Grabe yan. Tama ka, sa likod ng Shakey's. Keg room, then Shakey's.
Keg room! Tapos sa kabilang kanto, Another World.
Oh, tama.
Pag hindi mo type yung crowd sa Another World, pupunta ka ng doubles. Pagkatapos pag may nabigwit ka na, pupunta ka doon sa madilim sa may aviary.
Meron pang isa.
Hill. Yung doubles Hill, yung ba yung kila Layog?
Layog, parang. Oo.
Hindi. Yung Kalabuji Layog was, oh Lord. The disc of Silabuji was the one beside Max. It was the other side.
Hindi. Max and San Mig.
Yes.
Pub.
Yes.
Delirium.
Yun yung Kalabuji. Yun yung Kalabuji Layog. Delirium.
Doon ba nag-guest ang yung Commodores nung nagpunta dito sa Manila ang Commodores, doon ba yun? Delirium?
Yes.
In Delirium. Kung saan magkasama si... Hindi ko na babagitin yung pangalan ng artista. Tsaka yung bahista, si Ronald Lapred. Si Lionel Richie, ano pa nun ano lang siya vocalista lang siya. So di mo masyadong maangas si Lionel Richie nun. Ang pinakamatulis ng membro ng Commodores, yung bahista, si Ronald Lapred. Kasi nung concert sa Folk Arts, may isang artista na hindi ko na babagitin ng pangalan, pero ang initials niya, letter A, pareho. Letter A, pareho ang initials.
Alam ko na.
Na naging girlfriend din na isang basketballistang player na...
Lona!
Ayoko na lang bagitin eh. Ikaw talaga, Gil Cortez, oh. Ayoko na lang bagitin eh. Na natagulo sa Velvet Slam. Pagdating sa Delirium, wala na. Nandun na sa madilim na kanto. Wala na.
Letter A din pangalan ng basketball player?
Ang galing mo talaga, Commissioner Mon. Ang galing mo talaga. Ang galing mo rin talaga.
Kilala natin nga, Repang Mall. Kilala. Pero ang pinaka-memorable na Boyet is where else talaga.
Oo naman.
Kung minsan magpapangabot kami ng crispa doon, tinginan pa rin kami ng masama. Talaga, gayan eh.
Boyet,
yes sir.
Nakapanood ka na ba ng sabong ng manok?
Oo naman.
O di ba pag bitaw ng dalawang manok,
oo.
Magigirian, ganyan.
Yan.
Bago magsalpukan.
Oo.
Pag nagkita kami doon sinasabi ni Hills where else ng mga Christmas players, ganun din. Wala lang salpukan, girian lang.
Pero pag nasa disco ba kayo ng mga taga-Christmas, nagkakaroon ba ng dance showdown? May dance showdown ba? May dance showdown?
Walang laban sa amin yung Christmas sa sayawan. Mas magaling ang
sumasayaw.
Mas magaling ang footwork namin, Boyet.
Sino mga pinakamagaling sumayaw ng mga player ng Toyota?
Si Mon, yan, mahusay.
Alam ko magaling sumayaw yan eh.
Si Ompong, si Chicks lang yan sa side. Tingin-tingin lang yan.
Kaya malungkot nga ako nung giniba yung intercon eh. Wala na yung pinupuntahan natin. Yung where else.
Tandaan ako a few days, several weeks ago, may mataas na building pala nakatayo, no?
May tinatayo doon. I don't know kung hotel pa rin yun.
It will be a mixed-use property by the Ayalas.
Correct.
It will be a mixed-use property. But I was there for the last party in the structure of what else was. We threw a special event and there were 3 of us DJs that played that night. So I played a Where Else 1973 to 1978 music set. And then nag-euphoria tapos yan.
Bakit hindi tayo nagkita nun? Nagkakilala nun?
Ewan ko, siguro bata pa ako.
Bata si Boyet, about 55.
73. Halos gabi-gabi kami ni Ompong nandyan, Boyet eh.
Malapit lang sa quarters eh.
Exactly.
Oo. Sipin mo.
Alam mo, maraming memorable na mga na puntahan namin ng mga Toyota team, no? Especially kasi yung mga anak ni President Marcos noon, they root for Toyota.
Toyota yan.
Every
Sila
time
Bomi
na
at sila Aimee. Toyota yan.
every time na magkaroon ng party, magtutuo sila ng party sa Malacanang, we get invited. Kasabay.
Bakit tayo iniimbita, Hel?
Kasi nandun yung mga Pitoy Moreno
Models.
Bakit nga, sino nagpapaimbita sa atin?
Di ba siya, no? Si Ricky? Ricky.
Yeah. Now it can be told, Boyet. No. Everybody knows it naman. It's not
Ricky
a secret.
Silverio.
Ricky
Si Ricky Silverio was the boyfriend of Aimee Marcos at the time.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
we would be in Malacanang in their parties.
How was that?
Nakasayaw pa nga. May pictures pa nga si Snake Jones. Kasayaw si Imelda.
Alam ko, nakita ko yon. I saw that picture. Nakita ko yon. I saw that picture of Snake Jones na nakaniknik. Nakaniknik na long sleeves. Oo. Nakaniknik na long sleeves si Snake Jones. How was it? How was that for you guys? Being able to like get invited to the palace? Being able to party with the first family and be as Gil Cortez says, you were the favorites of the children.
Bata pa kami noon, Boyet eh. It didn't really hit us like whatever, no? Wala kaming impression. Basta naimbita lang kami doon. Fine, thank you. It wasn't much of a big deal for us at the time. No?
Right, it wasn't a big deal talaga. Ano lang, pumupunta lang kami every time we get invited. Ang daming mga pinupuntahan namin noon eh.
Babalik tayo sa Crispa Toyota dahil alam ko itong mga millennials dito na kasama ko, yung naggusto talagang pukpukin eh. Yung Crispa Toyota talaga. Let me start the ball rolling by you're much older now, of course. But in your youth, playing against your arch rivals, Crispa, what would trigger that animosity inside the court? What will be the trigger? Is it simply because of that sordid history, or every game there's something that triggers that animosity?
Well, paano nagsimula yung rivalry na yun? I think, how did it originate?
Why did it become personal?
I get number one, Boyet. At that time kasi, the team owners themselves were very much involved in running the teams personally, supervised by them, no? The Floros, Silverios, Cosetings, even the others, Elizaldes, and what have you, the others. No? So, yung loyalty namin sa team, grabe talaga, no, sa players of the team because of the way we were treated by others, no. So, syempre sa Mika in 1973 and 74, hindi pa gaano ka-init yung rivalry ng Toyota at Crispa. In fact nga, in 73, Concepcion Industries, Concepcion Motorolas ang nakalaban namin. It was really just in 1975 nag-start yung rivalry, no. I guess it starts with simpleng bungguan, umiinit, plus the fans, of course, no. The fans help in that rivalry also, that develop yung rivalry, no. And si Oscar Rotza, kung sino pa, dahil naniniko, nanononto.
Si Boy Clarinho!
Wala na yun, huli na yun si Boy eh.
Abulo naman si Boy.
Nandun na ba si Boy noon, Bong? 75?
Oo,
nandun,
maaga.
No?
Si Boy maaga na ano yun eh. Nasa atin na yun, maaga pa rin.
Okay. Si Boy Clarinho. Hindi gaano yung si Boy Clarinho. Yung
Si Oscar Rotza,
yung
Oscar talaga. So, si Oscar at si Bernie.
It starts with a simple banggaan, and then coupled with the trash talking,
How was the trash talking? Give us examples of the trash talking.
Sorry, we cannot give you an example, Boyet. It's just too personal, no? So, hindi pwede. Ibubulong ko na lang sa iyo mamaya.
Pwede ba akong correct me lang if I'm wrong, ha? Lalagyan ko lang ng bleep. Lalagyan ko ng bleep, ha? Ganito. Hoy! Yung asawa mo, may ganon.
Ang tanong ko dyan, Sir Boyet, kung may MTRCB rating yung trash talking na yan, ano yung rating niya?
Quintuple X.
Triple X.
Quintuple X, meron ba?
Quintuple X.
Really. Kami ni Abet talaga doon, ang grabe ang kansawa namin. Pero hindi naman gaano ka-personal na pangit. Kasi nung time na yun, Boyet, grabe ang pimples ko, tigyawat ko eh. Di ba? So, ang palayaw nila sa akin, yun ang kantsaw nila sa Tigs, tigyawat, tigyawat. Mga ganun lang naman. Kaso si Abet, alam niyo naman, galing Camiguin yun, di ba?
Camiguin,
O taga sa Camiguin, sa mambahaw na tao niya, nandun yung Mount Hibok-Hibok. Di ba? The volcano. Pumutok yan in the early 50s din yata kasi. Kaya lulukuhin ko rin siya, niloloko ko rin. Ikaw, Abet, kaya ka tumangkad dahil buntis yung mama mo nung buntis yung mama mo nung pumutok yung nung hibok-hibok kaya humaba ka. Ganong kantsawan ba?
Ano ba yung parental guidance pa lang yung level na yan,
PG pa lang yan, PG. Who was the best trash talker? Who was the best trash talker? Amongst you guys, sa inyo, ha? Sino para sa inyo pinakamagaling?
Oscar Rocha pa rin yan, sa tingin ko.
Kasi si Rocha, may kasamang physical yung trash talking niya eh. Nakita niyo naman siguro doon sa reunion game, nakahiga na siya, sumisipa pa ng mortal enemy ni Abet yun.
Gang doon sa reunion game, nagkakagirian pa rin sila no?
But anyway, that's all part of the game naman, Boyet, yung trash talking. Siyempre, kailangan pikunin mo talaga yung kalaban, lalo na kung maganda nilalaro. You have to get his goat talaga, inistin mo talaga. So that's where you separate minsan the men from the boys. Kung yung mga napipikon at hindi na
Sir Ompong, kayo, nung pumasok na kayo sa Toyota at that time, you already were playing for Utivo, in the Mika.
Hindi, during that time kasi nang nasa Utivo ako, reserve lang ako eh.
Reserve ka lang noon.
Kasi ako yung pinakabata, ang mga sikat na sila Temple Milencio.
Oo.
Sila Tuason, yan yung mga ako, college boy pa lang ako during that time. So, hindi ako nakalaro ng Utivo. Pero during that time, malakas ang labanan doon, matirahan yung during that time ng mga Utivo,
Mas marumi noon, Boyet.
The Utivo Opels. Wow. Remember that. Nagmariwasa ka ba?
Si Morales, tama ko doon, Ernesto Morales.
Si Boy Morales.
Boy Morales,
Hindi Boyot, Nesto.
Hindi yung Boy Morales ng ng Ateneo,
Hindi.
Ernesto Morales.
Ernesto
Morales. Nakasama ko rin sa San Miguel yon.
Nakasama mo.
Oo. Yung ba yung magaling tumira sa labas, di ba?
Yan. Tsaka yung parang kitikiti kong kumilis yun.
Malikot naglaro yun.
Tama. Malikot.
Meron akong anecdote niyan kay Nesto Morales, Boyet. Toyota na kami, kalaban namin San Miguel, I think he played for San Miguel or
Royal Troori.
I don't remember. But anyway, Francis was guarding him. Si Francis Carnaez ang nagagwardya sa kanya nalusutan si Francis ni Nesto Boy Morales. Napagalitan ni Coach Dante si Francis ng todo. Si Morales, nalusutan ka, nasyutan ka. Yeah. I won't forget that incident talaga.
Talking about Dante. For a lot of Filipinos, Dante Silverio was a multi-awarded motor sportsman.
Correct.
Okay? He was a motor sportsman. Just like Tommy Manotoc was a fantastic golfer. And yet, these two gentlemen became coaches in the PBA. Now, when Toyota management told you that Dante was coming in to be coach, what were your reactions?
Since he's the son of the owner, siyempre walang ano. Pero knowledgeable naman si Coach Dante. Marami siyang alam, maybe sa reading. So tapos yung recruitment niya maganda. Nagkakasama-sama kami mga ano. So naging very easy na sa kanya yung mga pagko-coach.
What is important, boy, it's a coach-player relationship is the respect of the players to the coach. Dahil maski na anong galing ng coach, kung hindi respetuhin ng player, walang mangyayari, no? The same case as ni Tim Cone, no? Tim Cone did not play basketball or was never a coach, but because he was supported by management, the players respected him and they follow him. Maski na gaano kasimple ang play ng isang coach, basta sundin ng lahat, effective pa rin. So it's as simple as that. No?
Mon. Team Cone coach International School of Manila. Assistant lang siya.
All right.
He was handling the boys. Kami ni Coach Nick, we were handling the girls team. That's why I knew that he coach.
Yeah, alumnus kasi si team ng IS eh.
IS, tama.
Alumnus.
Tsaka talagang magkaibigan na sila ni
Fred. Oh.
During the time.
Wow. I'm enjoying this. You know, having the three of you who made me cry a lot of times because you beat Crispa. This is a treat for me. This is a very big treat for me. Boys, ay di magtanong. Ako lang bang matanda dito?
Coach Emer ang may tanong dyan, sigurado.
Sige, Coach Emer.
Hindi, baka mapunta agad tayo sa PBA pag ako nagtanong eh.
Sige lang!
Meron kasing kay Sir Mon Fernandez, remember, nasa Tanduay ka, 1 second na lang. Yung timeout ngayon na naririnig ko, you volunteer to defend Michael Young. Lamang kayo ng 2 points sa Tanduay ka, na-shoot pa ni Michael Young.
Great taste yan.
Inbound. Remember that?
I don't remember that. So what's the question? I don't remember.
I mean, tanda mo lang yung game na yun.
I can't remember Merson, that game.
So naglalaro si Michael Young ng coach.
What's that?
Coach Emer, anong team si Michael Young nun? Great Taste ba? Was that Great Taste?
Yeah, Great Taste.
Probably Great Taste.
I remember that shot. Pero hindi ko alam kung si Sermon yung nag-defend. Siya ba?
Yeah. Si Sermon. Oh. Sermon, tandaan parang talagang yun eh. Medyo mabigat yung binawan na tira ni Michael Young na yun.
I don't remember that situation.
Mas marami pang masakit na nangyari kay Don Ramon.
Wala yun dahil tinalo din naman namin kami din naman ang nag-champion noon di ba?
Yeah, pero ito na lang Coach Mon, sabi nga ni sila Ernest, maraming masakit na nangyari. Si Sir Ompong nasa kabilang team. Remember the 1980 championship with you against UTEX?
Yun ang pinakamasakit para sa akin.
16 seconds.
16 seconds, we were leading by 4 points.
Yes, 4 points.
4 points. Nung last time nga, nasabi ko sa kanila na nag-ano yung Toyota. Wala nang talo yung Toyota nun eh. Biglang nagkaroon ng bearing, nakashoot yata ng isang 3 points. Tapos naagaw, naging nanalo pa yung UTEC. Ano ka ba paring Gil nun sa UTEC?
Oo, injured ako, di ba?
Kasama natin
Kasama
si Bog.
tayo, 1980.
Bog sa Dornado. Kasama
Bogs,
natin.
ikaw, si Pahes, si
Limembeng.
Gaston, Limembeng, Jimmy Taguines.
Taguines, oo.
Sino pa? Glenn McDonald, of course, and Aaron James. Tayo.
Yeah, I considered that game, Boyet, na pinakamasakit dahil nag-unfurl na nga ng streamers yung mga tao sa likod namin eh. Magsa-champion na
mga banner.
Pero ang tanong dyan, how did the team react afterwards? Nag-inuman ba kayo? Anong nangyari? No? What was the reaction inside the locker room? How did you go home? How did you talk about that game na yun?
I don't remember that anymore, Ernest, but alam mo, pag nanalo kami ng game, maski na elimination, semis, or championship, pag nanalo kami ng game, sarap. Pare, inom tayo, sarap uminom, panalo tayo, di ba? Pag natalo naman kayo, ganun din, pare, kailangan tayong uminom. Talo tayo eh. Pareho lang. Lasing din. Anyway, yeah, of course, no? Hindi ko na maalaala yung kung anong mga nangyayari sa dugout after. Of course, nandun yung abutin kayo minsan ng 1 hour sa dugout at sinasabon kayo ni coach or ni manager. In several occasions, those things happen.
Just curious, tatlo kayo close. Wala ba kayong naging exchange after that game na Sir Ompong, Sir Gil, Sir Mon? Wala ba di ba kayo nag-usap after that game na game?
Si Gil panalo, si Sir Gil.
Hindi kasi ako, I was on the sideline.
Pero wala ba yung mga parang bragging rights or something like that? Wala namang ganun.
Wala naman.
Kasi nung panahon na yan, Brian, ang bragging rights hindi brag eh. Sasapakin ka na lang yata eh. Pag yabang ka sa akin, naupakan kita. Parang ganun yata. Walang asaran. Diretso tayo. Ganun. Pero, what was the height of that Toyota Crispa rivalry? Na masasabi niyong up to now, siguro ito talaga yung pinaka grabe.
Siguro from 1976 hanggang we folded up 83. No?
83.
Talagang it's a long run, no? Pero
si Atoy remembers because in the first how many years of the PBA, he remembers how many conferences na kami lagi yung naglalaban sa what you call this championships, Minsan lang ang nakasingit UTEX yata or
UTEX.
Yun lang yata, no? The rest puro Toyota Crispa kasi yun at the time, So that's how the rivalry heated up some more talaga, no?
Yan. Oo. Pero si Brian may papakita sa inyo. I don't know if it will ring a bell, no? Brian, yung ano yung papakita natin dyan?
Ito nakita na to ni Sir Ompong at saka ni Sir Gil. Pero ito for the benefit of Sir Mon. This was the ito usapan ito.
Para kaming Hawaii 5-0 niyan. Sino ba yung artista na book them?
Hawaii 5-0? Jack Lord.
Jack Lord.
Jack Lord doon yung nagsasabi, book
Jack
them.
Lord.
Diba?
Tapos yung sidekick niya, si Dan Williams ang pangalan ng karakter. Kaya book him, Dano!
Yeah. Ganon ang sinabi ni General Oliva sa amin no? Nasa krami kami niyan. Sabi kasi niya, sino sa inyo ang mag-file ng complaint? Tahimik lahat Walang gustong mag-file ng complaint, siyempre. Pero naka-sunglasses karamihan. Sabi niya, walang mag-file ng complaint sa inyo, ha? Book them! Sabi niya. So, lahat kami, fingerprint kami doon.
Piano!
Piano kami doon.
Was that your first experience of being arrested, Don Ramon?
Yeah, definitely.
Ikaw, Sir Ompong, Boss Gil, was that the first experience of being arrested by a member of the of our police?
Para naman kaming mga criminal na tanungin mo, Boyet, kung first time ba yun? Second time.
First time offender.
Hindi ba, iano ko lang yung correction lang, no?
Sige.
Pare. Nung kinulong tayo, hindi ba isang mahabang selda? Isa lang tayo.
Isa lang.
Tama ba yun?
Tama, isa lang.
Hindi mahabang
Malit
selda
lang.
yun. Siguro
Malit
mga 10 square meters lang siguro yun. Isang banyo lang.
Ayun,
Ang
magkakasama
Crispa,
kami.
Meters?
Yung kwento ko, tama.
konti lang. At saka mga double deckers ang bed doon
Tama,
Yung Crispa, sila una ang dumating. Ang mali
lumapit
nila,
sa banyo.
nagposisyon sila malapit sa banyo para siyempre madaling pumunta sa banyo, di ba? Kami dito na sa medyo malayo sa banyo. But in the same room. So dumating kami doon, mga 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. So pagdating ng mga alas 11, alas 12, you can just imagine the smell na ng banyo. So, sagap nila lahat yun.
Kala nila nakaisa sila, pero sila naisaan.
Tapos Bayet, nung bandang mga alas 2 siguro yun, alas 3, ang unang visitor na dalaw na dumating, wife ni Tito Varela, dumating, I can't remember what time, alas 2, alas 3 siguro. So pagdating, nakita ni Sunny Jaworski, sabi niya, Tito, yung wig mo, nandiyan na, dumating na. Kansawan pa rin.
At saka rin pang Mon, yung kay Boy Clarino, kung naalala mo pa. Di ba si Boy Clarino, macho? Dumating yung dalaw niya, yung damit niya. Dala nung kapatid. Sabi nung warden, sino sa inyo si Boy? Sino si Boy Clarino? Ako, bakit? Sabi nga no, alam mo naman si Boy. Medyo may pagka, anong tawag doon? Macho.
Brusko.
Tapos sabi nung warden, Hoy, putya na mo. Pumunta ka rito, kunin mo dito. Ano naman ako pa magbibigay sa'yo dyan. Sabi nga, tawanan. Si Boy.
Pero I think, yes, Sir Gil, may sinabi kayo na nung kinukuha na kayo sa Bel Air, si Ompong ang wala daw doon.
Nagano siya eh. Mahilig manood na sine to eh. Kami, sumakay doon sa bus. Si Ompong, dahil hindi makita, hindi social yung nasakyan niya. Ang nasakyan niya yung Ford Fiero na may rehas sa yung parang chicken wire.
Parang si ano din, Hel.
Paano ko nauna sila, tapos sumunod ako, kaya lang nakarehas yung ano ko.
Ford Fiero na ba yun o Toyota Tamaraw?
Toyota Tamaraw na nakarehas.
Tamaraw na nakarehas yun.
Mabuti during that time, yung EDSA, hindi pa masyadong matraffic. Wala pa sa
Mon is saying something.
The late fourth ako niya, ganun din. Kasi na-late siya dumating. If I remember right, hindi ba doon tayo sa practice kinuha? Pinauwi muna tayo.
Hindi, sa Bel Air tayo. Morning right after the
Okay, I think nag-practice. Okay, sa Bel Air tayo kinuha. Anyway, sa bus kami, hindi ko maalala si Ompong nakatamaraw pala. At saka alam ko si Fort Acuña din, nakatamaraw, mag-isa lang siya eh.
Yung
Papuntang
pagkain,
Krame.
yung pagkain natin. Tinanong
Hindi
ni
ko na maalala.
Ernest sa akin yan eh. Di ba rasyon, kanya-kanya rasyon, di ba?
Hindi, nauna crispa. Crispa, pinadalan ng ng mga sugpo, limango. Sarap eh. Filipino talaga ang pagkain. Alam mo naman yung dalawang team natin talagang mortal enemies, no? Yung rivalry nandun, pati yung management, talagang grabe. Nung pinadalan tayo ni Osbok, ni Dante, ang alam ko nag-order sa Prince Albert sa Intercon. Puro steak, prime rib, tsaka mga
Iba talaga si Osbok.
Iba si Osbok.
Iba si Osbok.
Iba si Osbok. Social yun, social.
Exactly.
Ernest, schedule niyo yun, Brian, si Mr. Silverio. Masarap din kausap yun. Ngayon, siya painter, charcoal, no? Maganda rin yung mga paintings niyan.
King, tsaka nagpa-flamenco.
Flamenco. Pero he stopped dancing already.
Aywan po.
Talaga?
Oo, kasi paminsan-minsan ini-invite kami sa birthday niya. Sa bahay niya.
Gil,
Yes, man.
Ompong, inabot nyo si Jake Rojas sa Toyota?
Comets? Yes.
Ikaw po?
Sandali na lang.
Hindi ko maalala anong taon yon.
76 yun. Number 22 yun.
Yung ikwento ko, yung sabi ni Dante kasi sa practice, bukas alis tayo ng alas 8 ng umaga, punta tayo ng Baguio, let's stay there for a week, mag-training tayo doon. So, everybody was there, no? Tapos sakay na sa coaster. Yung iba, inalaw ako magdala ng kotse and maybe a few others, no? But halos lahat sumakay sa coaster para paakyat ng Baguio. Pero nagtaka kami, bakit papuntang Rojas Boulevard yung bus namin? So sunod lang ako ganyan. Meron daw susunduin banda doon. Huminto na lang sa Hayat at nagbabaan lahat. Yung pala, doon kami titira. Niloko kami ni Osbok na mag-training. So, doon kami for mga, 3-4 days, no? Yung may mga asawa na noon, hindi alam ng mga asawa nila. Alam nila, nasa Baguio kami. So, every night, naalaala niyo yan? Gil?
Yes.
Naalaala niyo yan? So, every night, lahat ng nightclubs doon sa Rojas Boulevard, iniikot namin yun. No? So, ang problema ngayon, pag-uwian na, iuwian na. Nataranta yung mga may asawa. Sabi na, naku, paano to? Galing tayong Baguio, walang gulay. Walang walis. So, nagbaklaran mo na yung loko. Bago umuwi sa mga bahay nila. No? Kaya ganon kasulit yung samahan namin, Boyet. No? May mga lakad kami na.
Masaya kami nun.
Alam mo, Boyet, yung gaya na sabi ni Mon kanina, kaya yung loyalty namin nasa
team talaga.
How we were treated, no? Yung mismong mga owners ang nakakasama namin. Minsan, si Osbok, bigla na lang pag weekend, walang ensayo. Di ba, Mon? Dadali na tayo sa Tali Beach.
Tali Beach.
Oo, doon kami. For about
kami
overnight.
Ni Ompong. Ayaw ko kung nakasama ba ni si Ompong. Yung Ortigas Center, iisa lang ang building dyan dati, Ortigas Building lang. That's the place where the races were held.
Oh, yes.
Doon ang karera ng kotse.
Tapat ng Unimart.
Hindi. Kung saan ang Ortigas and Company, sa may tapat ng Meralco.
Yes.
Meralco. Okay.
Meralco lang at Ortigas. Building
yes.
noon.
And
so, doon ang
Ventres. and the Ben Press building.
Ben Press,
Press, oh,
the
tama.
Chronicle building.
Yes.
Yun lang. Yung mga tech tight lahat yan.
Oh,
Wala
ang
yan.
mga kumakarera nung panahon na yon, si
Boots
Osbok,
Tuason.
si Butch Tuason, si
Cholo.
Louis Budalian,
Ocholo.
Cholo Ramirez.
Ocholo.
Cholo, correct.
Merong mga 4-5 Levin.
Merced.
Celica, si Dante, no?
Si Osbok, nakalibing yun.
Oh, so after the races, Boyet, agawan na kami noon, mag-uuwi kami ng isang Levin papuntang Delta Motors. Babanat na sa EDSA yan. Yung EDSA noong araw, pwede ka
10 minutes.
Pwede ka mag-send to Gis sa EDSA nun. 110, 120, pwede.
From Trinoma to Makati, 10 minutes.
Naalala ko kasi, pwede kang nakatira sa Makati, yung susundin mong date na sa Quezon City, babalik sa Makati para mag-disco, okay lang yun. 20 minutes lang yun. Okay lang yun.
yung labas ng San Lorenzo, yung kanto, yung New World Hotel ba ngayon yan?
Yeah.
New World.
That used to be a gasoline station.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yung 20 pesos ko na gasolina kakarga sa Toyota SL.
Macho.
Macho
SL
machine.
Not the Macho machine pa, yung SL pa, yung two-door.
Yung SL.
Yung my first car din. Yung 20 pesos, isang linggo ko na gagamitin yun, hindi na uubos. Saka yung Makati Ave na yan, pwede kang bumanat ng 100 dyan. Hanggang Ayala.
My God, those days.
Those were the days, huh?
Those are the days. But you guys were talking about loyalty to teams. Do you feel that nowadays players are not loyal to their teams anymore?
No, they are loyal.
They're still loyal.
But their loyalty is more to their profession than the team, no? Because perhaps siguro doon sa mga franchise players na hindi pwedeng bitawan ng isang team, no? Yun ang nakaka-develop ng loyalty siguro sa team. But yung mga ibang players na pwedeng ma-trade, baka hindi ganun kalalim naman ang loyalty na madidevelop nila, no? That's what my common sense tells me, no?
Yeah, because anytime they can go.
They can get traded. Yeah.
Okay, Mark, so meron ka bang gusto may batong tanong sa mga to?
Oh, I was about to ask sana earlier kung meron kayong mga pre-game rituals, pero yung after hearing your stories, mukhang mas marami yung mga post-game rituals eh. So,
meron din pre-game.
And tanong ko lang sir, ano ba yung mga pre-game rituals nyo, especially kapag ito na, kaharap nyo na yung pinakakaribal nyo, yung Chris pa?
Yung medyas ko ginamit nung huling championship.
Sinusuot nyo ulit, sir?
Yeah. May favorite socks ka, lucky socks, tama, or lucky shoes, or you know.
Lucky shoes, tama.
Yeah. Basically, yun lang naman. Saka yung sleeping habits, yung resting before the game, all that, no? You try to do what you usually do, no?
Same thing, sir, kapag semifinals na or finals na?
Yeah, ganoon din.
Sa amin, every game eh. Kung ano yung, say, maganda yung nilaro mo ngayon, the next game, ano ba yung ginawa ko ano ba yung kinain ko nung game na yun, gano'n. So, parang yun yung ritual eh.
Paano naman sir kapag halimbawa sinunod nyo yung ritual nyo and then iba yung nangyari sa laban, medyo minalas, pabaguhin nyo ba yung ritual nyo sa next game?
Oh, siyempre.
Ibahin mo na, Mark.
Ano ba yung mga ritual?
Balasa.
Oh, kung puti yung medyas mo nun, itimasutin mo the following game.
Okay, thank you.
Tama, balasa, no?
Kasi pala ako.
Sige, Ivan, go.
Okay, ayun. Curious lang ako kasi nga, you already mentioned si Coach Dante tinatawag yung Osbok. So, anong storya? Bakit siya tinatawag ng Osbok?
Yun ang tawag ng mga barkada sa kanya eh. Mga barkada niya. At saka sa Delta Motors, Dante was running Komatsu, the Komatsu distributorship before. Hindi naman siya sa Delta. So, Osbok ang tawag na sa kanya, mga barkada niya. Ano ulit. So, nasunod din. Dati pa.
Okay. Now I know.
Ngayon, Osbok pa rin ang tawag ko.
Osbok pa rin. No.
Okay.
Eto si Brian may gustong mag-brace up daw kayo. May papakitang litrato.
Yan!
Yeah. Nakita na nila Sir Hilton, no? Pero since nandito yung talagang bida nung na yun,
Picture.
proper to tsaka actually si Sir Mon din, siya yung top scorer, nakita ko eh. Kita.
Brazilian no?
Morning, Sina Cyrus Man, Palmeiras.
Yeah. I'm trying to read the score box eh.
Hindi ko makita sir yung score box pero I'm assuming it's above 24 points or at least 20.
You'll be surprised na babasa ko.
Oh, nababasa niyo sir?
Yeah.
Basa mo ba yan?
Roll 7 ang number 1 ang naka Toyota Nespa Rodolfo Segura knocked in the winning basket. Right at Toyota
Comets.
Comets shaded the debut.
Toyota Comets shaded
in a close game marred by spotty officiating at the Araneta Coliseum.
Ayan na yung officiating na tinanong nyo kanina.
Kahit na yung game?
Sinulat pa talaga. May spotty officiating.
Yeah.
Pero what was the memory here, Don Ramon? No? Anong bang naalala niyo sa larong to?
Frankly,
parang exhibition lang yan di ba?
Yeah. Exhibition lang yan. Frankly, hindi ko...
Sir, kung nakakala.
Hindi ko maalaala.
Sir Ompong, ikaw ang winning shot.
During that time, lang yan, exhibition, parang dumating dito yan. Tapos exhibition kami, isang game lang.
Usually kasi ang PBA mag-invite ng mga South American team or minsan European teams to play with the strong team, of course, Toyota and Crispa. No? Ako, memorable sa akin dahil that was my first game with Toyota. First game ko yan with Toyota. Baptism of fire ko yan, Mon. Yan ang first game ko, Mon.
Okay.
First game pala, no? So, ito, no, yung sinasabi nga natin, the rivalry exists, no? And syempre, nag-reunion game kayo nanalo. Feeling nyo kayo na yung pinaka may huling halakhak?
Syempre. Actually, nag-invite pa sila ulit. Ayaw na namin eh. Kasi baka matalo pa kami. Pahirap na.
Talking about I was at that reunion. Emer, nandun ka din ba? Napanood mo ba yung reunion game? Nandun ka nun?
Emer, pakita mo. Nasaan na yung sino pinapakita mo? Merong pinakita sa si Coach Emer.
Ako, Emer, yan!
Ang gusto mong makuha yan, tinesting niya kanina.
Kasi, sino ba kasama ko niyan? Katabi ko si Chot Reyes. Katabi ko, we were at the back of the television panel.
Okay yan
Ang tumawag ng game sa TV, Emi Arcilia, kasi Vic Aldefonso. Okay? Ang Coliseum Barker, si Seb Sarmenta.
Okay.
So, nasa likod kami nila Emi tsaka ni Tito Dick Ildefonso. So, the whole time, si Chot, Toyota din yan eh. Si Chot, Toyota yun eh. Ako, Chris pa ako.
Do you know why?
Bakit, Don Ramon?
Never mind.
Bakit Toyota si Chot Reyes?
Never mind nga.
Don Ramon.
secret. Okay, so
Off the record.
Pero nakita mo,
Ako alam
nung
ko
reunion
yun.
game, lahat ng mga mistiso at mistisa, nandun sa likod ng bench ng Toyota. Nandun sa likod ng bench ng Toyota. Nakita mo, yung disparity ng klase ng tao. Andun yung mga, sabi nga namin, ang mga alta de sociedad. Diba?
Ikaw nagsabi ka
ng Toyota. Kami naman, nasa kabila kami. So we were facing the benches. So nung introductions, tuntua kami dahil siyempre, Mon Fernandez, Sonny Jaworski, di ba? Everybody knows that story. But was that the first time you played together after so many years, Don Ramon?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
No? That was the first time, no?
No. What year was that?
2013. 2003.
2003.
Hindi, yung 1989 All-Stars. After 1989 All-Stars, yun.
The Toyota Crispa reunion game, di ba?
Yeah.
The All-Star game was very memorable because of the pass, of your pass to him, which won the game for the All-Stars.
His pass to me.
His pass to you. Oo.
Tapos yung sa reunion naman, may pass to him.
Your pass din, di ba? Kumbaga parang sinasabi ng mga writer. Binawian na.
Lamang kami doon eh.
How did that feel? I mean, of course, the sordid, the spat between you and Sonny was very well publicized, well talked about. But how did you guys bury the hatchet?
Well, basically, it started with All-Star game na hinatak ako ni Coach Baby at nag-handshake kami ni Sunny, and then Beijing kami, Asian Games 1990.
Right. So, kumbaga, parang all is forgotten.
Yeah, laro lang naman yan. Basketball lang naman yan eh. I mean,
nice. Wonderful story.
Regarding do sa reunion game, can you remember kung anong time tayo natapos nun? Nung team natin?
What do you mean?
Umaga na, no? Umaga na yata yun eh. 7 o'clock in the morning.
Hindi ko na maalaala yun.
Hindi ka na sumama nun, Lepang Mon?
Okay, so merong after party.
After the celebration!
Celebration kami noon. Sinama tayo ni Dante noon sa Interpol.
Imposible hindi ako sumama doon.
Kasama si Mon. Nandun tayo sa...
Kasama ka noon. Ano bang place?
Spanish restaurant. Doon sa may daan nung kung saan yung New World. Papuntang...
Tama.
Ano ba yun? Glorieta. Anyway, I forgot the name.
Basta yung pala ko yung may kanto.
Kaya namin noon kasi after so many years, saka nagkita-kita kami eh. Kaya tapos na kami, medyo oldies na. So yun, kwentuhan, hindi maubos yung kwentuhan.
Alam mo, hindi tayo naging sayo for how many years? Mga 20 more than years eh. Tapos bigla tayo lalaro, no? Naka-ensayo lang tayo 3 beses sa Cuneta.
How was that practice before the reunion game? How did that practice how was the atmosphere of the practice?
Atmosphere? Oh, it was okay. Kaya lang ang laro talaga parang slow motion.
It's all in the mind, kaya mo pa.
Slow mo kami.
Walkathon naman yun, Boyet eh. Fashion show.
Pero nung beginning of the fourth. Ayan na, may mga lumalabas na hindi ko nakikita for 20 years. May mga siko na lumalabas, may mga tulak na, may mga patid-patid na ako nakikita.
Alam mo kami dalawa ni Mon, ako na hamstring. Si Commissioner Mon, 2 legs ang na hamstring niya.
Wow.
O, dahil wala kaming ensayo, hindi kami talaga,
Oh.
walang stretching, wala eh. Lahat eh. Matanda na. Pero kung sinasabi ko nga, kung yung ginawa nila mga 10 years before, baka umabot pa rin kami sa krame or at saka sa court.
That would have been fun. That would really have been fun. It's very heartwarming to know that your memories of all of these years are still very much intact. For a lot of the younger people now who still love the game, still talk about you because their parents still talk about the game, still talk about people like you.
Definitely.
They still talk about you. And for the life of me, I have not seen two teams that are still being talked about 3 decades after. 3 decades
May mga
after.
Facebook groups na. May mga Facebook groups, Sir Boyet. They
Diba?
even make groups about it.
Like
No.
wala akong nababasang Iko Ismael. Wala akong nababasang mga ganon. Di ba? Ang nababasa ko lang, Crispa, Toyota. And maybe now for those in their 40s, maybe Pure Foods Alaska could be. You know? But the Crispa Toyota rivalry will live on for the generations talaga. Was it really just the level of play, Senor Ompong? Was it really the level of play at that time that really catapulted that rivalry to those heights?
Siguro, kasi Chris Toyota parang evenly no? Even talaga yung mga players eh. Talagang halos before the game, hindi mo malaman kung sino mananalo. So, kaya very intense ang game namin palagi.
At will you agree with me na every game, kahit hindi championship game, parang championship game?
Yes, oo. Kasi may prestige ba yung pinag-uusapan? Parang
in the same breath, pag Crispa Toyota, lahat nag-i-expect ni away.
Bad blood eh. Bad blood.
Marami naman tirahan doon eh.
Bad blood, Boyet. Bad blood.
What was the worst? Well, aside from the Krami incident, what were the worst experiences of playing against Crispa?
Maraming instances eh, di ba? Repa, maraming instances. Kaya lang hindi nakikita ng tao. Pero pagdating sa loob, yung mga tirahan, simplihan, gano'n.
Boyet, ang inaabangan namin noon, on Toyota's part, no, yung mga out of town games, because the out of town games and the televised tong araw eh.
Oo nga.
Kaya hindi talaga basketball game yung laban out of town. Talagang salbahihan talaga. Kasi walang television eh.
Oo.
Hindi ma-review ng commissioner kung ano nangyari. No?
Kasi walang video. Oo nga.
Yeah,
nga.
so
Right.
ganon katindi yan.
Wala pang gab nun. Wala pang gab.
Oo, wala pang gab nun.
Wala pang gab pala nun.
Right. Wala pang gab nun. Wala pang gab. May mga win game bonus na ba kayo nun?
Oo
naman. Even the amateur days.
Comparatively to how the win game bonus was in the amateurs and in the professional league. How was the disparity?
Malayo. Leaps and bounds.
Wow.
During our time, ang uniform ang contract 8,000 lang eh.
Oo.
So, doon mo na pagbabasihan yung mga bonus, yung magkano.
Pero yung Cinderella finish natin po, doon ako umpisa nung bonus na binigay ni Osbo sa atin. Doon ako nataranta eh. First time ako nakahanap ng ganong karaming 100 peso bills, you know. Linatag ko doon sa bed yung kwarto na sinasabi ni Hill, ang Snake Jones doon sa taas namin. Nilatag ko yung money, hinigaan ko. No? You're 20 years old, nakahanap, nakahawak ka ng ganong karaming bonus. No?
And at that time, the biggest currency, bill-wise, was 100 pesos.
Correct.
And wala pang 500 dun, wala pang 1,000. 100 pesos was the biggest sheet of currency that you get to receive.
Correct.
Tsaka, Boyet, palitan ng dollars on is just 7.
7:1.
1:7 by the time.
Ang presyo ng beer sa Tibbs, 5 piso.
Tibbs, ha?
Sa Tibbs, 5 piso.
Oh.
Di ba? Naabutan ni Gil Cortez ang Tibbs. 5
Siyempre,
piso ang
makatiyab
beer sa
naman. Ano ba naman?
Centavos lang yata ang litro ng gasolina nun eh.
Tama ka nga, di ba? 20 pesos full tank.
Boyet, you should remember, Bel Air Boys din kami.
Yan, exactly.
Lahat ng tambay ng Tibbs, mga Bel Air Boys.
Bel Air Boys yan.
Benji.
Imperial. Ibang kapatid na Imperial. Tito Archie Lacson. Yan, mga Bel Air yan.
Rico.
Si Rico Macrohon. Nako. Baryoso po.
Ang alaga namin noon, Joey
De Venecia.
Si Joey De Venecia. Anak ni Joe, Speaker Joe De Venecia.
Yep.
Grade 4 lang sa Lasal Green Hills yon. Pag kami Crispa Toyota, hinahatid ng auto nila yon sa Bel Air namin. Sasama sa amin sa coaster yon.
Sa coaster.
Ano?
Siya lang nakakasakay sa coaster.
Oo.
Si Joey.
Wow.
Mon, even up to now, I see him. Tayo, Ompong. Remember sa Syria before?
Nung huli tayo nagkita, di ba? Nandun siya.
Tama.
Yung isa pa nating barkada, si Captain Mario Medina.
Even the late Captain Mario.
Yung tumulong sa mga frontliners, magdadala ng mga
yung
gamit.
nag-crash, Boyet.
Yung tumabog yung airplane sa airport. Barkada namin yung yung piloto.
73 pa, kasi they used to live in Dasmariñas Village. Kaya magkaharap lang kami sa San Lorenzo. Kaya barkada na namin yun.
Dahil ang practice ng Toyota sa San Agustin eh.
Yes.
Correct. San Agustin. Malapit lang sa bahay nila.
Pero yung first na pinag-insayo natin, Repang Mon, sa Motomall ba yun?
Motomall, sa may Pasong Tamo.
Pasong Tamo Extension.
Extension.
Oo, di ba? Yun ang una.
Sino ba may-ari ng gym na yun?
Motomall.
I forgot.
Motomall.
Yeah.
Indian yun
Indian siya, oo.
Sa Duani?
Pinakadulo ng...
Motomall.
Sila sa Duani ba yan?
Hindi.
Natumakas
Sa
sila.
Duani?
Magkakatunog ang pangalan. Sa Duani, Gidwani, Bubnani.
Involved din sa sports yun, but more sports equipment yata.
Sino ba? Okay, ito itatanong ko ulit din. Natanong ko na kay Hilto eh. Don Ramon and Boss Ompong. Sino sa mga teammates nyo na naaalala nyo na may dinedate na artista?
Yun!
May dinedate na?
Ibubunyag na yun!
Masyadong personal yan. Baka maraming makarinig.
Ikaw naman, dinedate lang. Ikaw naman.
Walang kwenta yan eh. Ako, ang matindi ang experience ko dahil galing Bisaya ako, syempre, di ba? Pag hindi pa ako marunong magtagalog masyado, so one of the few first dates ko sa where else pa. Maalaala mo naman, Boyet, yung upuan doon, pag ganyan, di ba?
Correct.
So pag nagtabi kayo, talagang magdidikit kayong ganyan.
Yan!
So, sabi ko sa date ko, ang gustong-gusto kita. Siya, bakit naman? Kasi ang landi mo eh. ang ibig kong sabihin, malambing. Akala ko, Bisaya ko eh. Akala ko yung malambing at malandi, pareho lang. Muntik ako sampalin.
Mariosep. Diyos me. Yung mga bloopers na ganyan, yan ang mga inaantay nila eh. Yung mga ganyan. How from Cebu to Manila and eventually being hailed as one of the greatest centers, being part of one of the greatest teams in professional basketball. For you gentlemen, this question is for all three of you. What really is ailing our basketball system right now? We've been back into international competition. We're back into it. But we seem not to progress as much as what our public expects us to progress.
Yeah.
I'll let them go ahead. But...
Sige. Boss Ompong, ba't hindi tayo makasulong-sulong talaga?
Siguro yung sa tingin ko, yung basketball natin is good for Southeast Asia. Sa SOA Games lang. Pag napunta na tayo sa Asian, yung mga kasama na dyan, yung mga example,
Middle Eastern
yung mga
countries.
Russian, marami na Russian na napunta sa Asian eh. Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, China.
Central Asia.
Mahirapan na rin tayo dun eh. More so sa Olympics, yung mga pag-board, mahirap na. Kasi at present, ang mga lang natin na kagaya ngayon, marami ng mga imports na pumapasok. So nawala ng chance yung mga local natin. Or maybe sa darating na panahon, panay mga PhilAm na yung maglalaro sa Philippine team.
Ikaw, Boss Gil, anong opinion mo doon?
Tama yung kay Ompong with regards to sa participation natin sa international. As of now, yung sa Asian tayo talaga pwede pang makipag-compete. With regards sa World Cup, mga ganyan, nakita ko, di ba nakita kami ni Com Ramon sa China. Napakalalaki ng mga players, no? And then siguro kailangan din natin na magpalaki, no? Right now SBP is thinking of getting younger ones para doon sa 2023 na hosting natin dito sa Pilipinas, Japan and Indonesia, no? Sila Kai Soto yan. Tsaka yung malalaki, mga 6'9". Tsaka yung nakikita ko parang we're going back to the same mistakes that we were doing. Yung may magkakaroon ng programa, tapos mawawala yung coach, mag-iiba yung coach, tapos walang continuity. Tapos, manghihiram tayo ng players sa PBA, which is okay naman kasi mahusay naman yung mga sa PB. Kaya lang, kuminsan tapos saluan natin ng mga ibang mga players, which is parang di nagkakatugma. And yung natin, yung style natin, magpe-prepare tayo ng napaka-short na maiksing panahon. Kailangan talaga magkaroon ng programa na mahaba sila magsama-sama. At dapat bata pa lang sila na magkakasama. Like yung mga ginagawa nila sa Europe, no? Ganun ng Tapos yun lang ang nakikita ko. Pero there will come a time na baka pwede tayo mag-compete. Ewan ko kung buhay pa tayo nun by that time.
Don Ramon?
Yeah, all of the above. Plus, there are really several factors. Number one, in the early days, especially in the 1940s and 50s, maybe all the way to the mid-60s, ilan lang Asian countries naglalaro ng basketball. tayo ang nagturo sa Kuwait, tayo nagturo sa India, Thailand, several sila Coach Tembong, sila Coach Big Boy, Nat Canson, si Coach Nick Jorge was in Singapore early 80s, and several other guys. Big Boy was somewhere. Not too many Asian countries took up the sport. Okay, that's not number one, no? Number two, yung height talaga natin was our main problem before, no? Mabuti nga ngayon, just like what Hill said, may mga bata na tayo na nasa 7-footers na tumatangkad na, pero very few, no? And of course, yung preparation na sinasabi rin ni Hill. Isa pang factor dyan, na curtail, na stunt yung growth ng basketball natin nung nag-turn pro tayo. Ha? Can you imagine from 1975 to 1990, kami-kami lang naglalaban year in and year out. So, as we say, as the saying goes, an athlete is only as good as his competition. Di ba? So, kami-kami lang naglaban. Hanggang doon lang talaga kami. Yun nga ang isa sa pinaka-sad ko, na hindi ko na-experience na makapaglaro sa international competition. Can you imagine if we were able to play in the international field from 1975 to 1990? No? Mas mag-i-improve pa sana kami. Plus, nakaskade doon sa mga kabataan yung mga natutunan namin doon sa labas. Dahil sila din naman makakapaglaro na rin doon. No? So, maraming factors talaga, Boyet. No? But as I said, mabuti na lang nga ngayon, marami ng mga bata na tumatangkad na, no? So, kasi hindi naman unlike other Asian countries, pilitin pa yung mga bata nila maglaro ng basketball. Dito sa atin, hindi na kailangan yan eh. The sport is supported by the LGOs, by the mayors, the governors, the congressmen, the schools, no, and the corporations, no? Nandiyan dyan yan, no? So, maraming dapat gawin. Although we really have to do a lot of catching up to do. We have a lot of catching up to do talaga, no? But as I said, as I mentioned also, it's kagaya ng sinabi ni Hill, form them young at a young age, group them together, and make them compete at the highest level of competition. That's the only way you can improve these guys or increase their level of competitiveness to international standard. But the major factor talaga is our height. Because I don't know if you remember, Boyet, I think sometime in 1968, there was a 6 feet under tournament.
Yes.
But I think, I can't remember exactly pang ilan tayo doon, but we were in the top 5, I think, no? But siyempre, hindi naman naulit yun because hindi
naman experiment by FIBA.
Yes.
Some experiment by FIBA.
Yun. Basically, it boils down to height pa rin naman because we used to hear that the Filipino pound for pound is one of the best basketball players in the world. No? But height is might in basketball.
Height is might.
That's why marami sigurong hindi naman naasar but nadismaya sa akin na that now that I'm in the PSC because hindi ko oversight ang basketball for one at hindi ko masyado pinupush yan. Because alam ko naman suportado ng private sectors eh. No? So, pinaubaya ko na lang sa private sectors yan. Although sinusuportahan din namin, no? But nandyan naman ang private sector na sumuporta. So, as I said, as I mentioned din kanina, history repeated itself eh. Yun ang naging problema namin nung Mika. Kaya nagkaroon ng PBA because kinukuha ng NSA yung mga players nila to play for the national team. Nakatsamba lang kami noong 1990, Boyet, na 14 14 days lang yata
Oo,
kami
14 days
nag-practice,
preparation.
no? Oo, nag-silver pa tayo. No? So, mahirap lang gawin yun at this time because basketball has tremendously improved by leaps and bounds. Eh.
Ayun, so, Sir Ompong already mentioned yung malakas tayo sa Southeast Asia, pero sa labas ng Southeast Asia, medyo nag-struggle tayo. But we have forgotten another country na medyo alanganin tayo. South Korea. So, the Korean curse. So, what do you think is keeping the Philippines from beating South Korea, especially in the past few years?
Masopong?
All of them.
Ang comparison ng Korea compared to the Philippines, ang preparation, I think ang Korea, ang South Korea is very different sa Philippines kasi yung ano nila, yung how they approach their player, yung mga relationship ng coach to the players. 'Di ba? Minsan mababalitaan mo sinampal ng coach yung isang player. Ganun ang ng South Korea. Saka ang laro ng Korea less dribble more on passing sila. So kasi maliliit sila, so kino-compensate nila yung mabilis na games. So more on passing movements na mas mabibilis na moves. Kaya magaling ang South Korea. Pero ang South Korea, kaya na rin natin yun at this time.
I really feel that China lang talaga, well, nandyan na yung mga Central Asia countries, Kazakhstan and all the others, no? But kaya natin yung iba na yan. Sa tingin ko, sa PROC lang talaga tayo mahirapan, Boy, no? Because aside from napakalalaki na nila, magagaling na rin sila because they've been playing the game matagal na rin, Boyet eh.
And the NBA and American coaching influence has been
definitely
Chinese basketball system for quite a while.
How's that? It influenced?
The influence of the NBA and American coaching. Because China has been taking in a lot of American coaches to teach them the game.
Okay, so that's why they are not. That's why siguro din they are not that powerful anymore like before, di ba? Before those American coaches came in. Because boy, our 1973 team, we went to China in 1974
for goodwill games. Yes.
On a diplomatic mission.
Yes.
That's when we started to have diplomatic relationship with China. We played there 3 games in
Canton.
Canton at the time, Canton,
Guangzhou,
Peking, and Shanghai pa at the time, you know. So hindi na natin, mahirapan na tayo sa kanila at the time dahil sa laki din ng mga players nila at sa napakalakas nila. And you must remember, boy, since 30, 40 years ago, I think there are about close to 40 provinces in China, no? There are 16 sports academy.
Wow.
In 16 provinces. And these are huge academies, no? Bringing in kids from all of the sports, bringing in the schools, learning, studies, and the sport that they want to play, nandoon na, no? So scientific na kaagad, meron na silang nutritionists, may physiologists, may doctors since 40, 50 years ago, no? We are just only starting now during our term, putting up those sciences in training and preparation for our athletes, no? So napakalayo talaga natin. So we'll just have to try our best, no? So yun, sports sciences ang malaking kulang din sa atin, no?
Okay. So, anyway, pakitaan ulit tayo ng litrato dito, no?
Yan!
Eto na. Brian, pakita ko muna yung gustong pakita ni Mark kanina. So, eto.
Yan!
Okay.
Laki yung i-zoom mo.
Sige, wait lang ha. Zoom
Ang
natin.
nakikita ko, si Ricky, si Francis, si Abe, si Emer.
Bon, sa likod.
Hello,
Yung sa likod, no? Yung may bigote.
Abe King.
Oo.
Yung caption nakasulat sa baba.
Ay, si tama. Team manager nga pala si Ricky, baby.
At yung ano,
Can you zoom it? Can you zoom it a little bit?
Lakan mo pa daw.
yan. Eto.
Yan!
Third.
Sino tong rightmost na nakasalamin? Si Edo Campo ba yan?
Parang coach.
Yes.
Parang Don Ramon parang si Edo Campo yan.
Yes, Edo Campo.
December 30, 1982 yung published neto, sir. So,
Tama, 82. That's when si Ricky ang manager namin at that time. Saan daw yan? Sa Batak?
Batak, Ilocos Norte ang caption.
Correct. Yeah, I remember that game. Makita mo doon sa plaza lang nilaro yan, in the gym. Kaya yung puno ng kahoy doon sa tabi ng basketball court, parang binagyo umaakyat, yung mga tao nandun nakasampa sa puno ng kahoy. You know? Yeah. I remember that.
Wow. For everybody, for the fans that are watching us, when did Edo Campo coach Toyota? What years were these?
I think 82.
After Fort Acuna.
After Fort Acuna.
After Fort Acuna.
Oh, because I insisted, or I asked that we recruit Ed Ocampo after Fort Acuna, Boyet, no?
Mm-hmm.
And Ernest. No? I was the one who first talked to him and tried to convince him to coach us.
I will never forget Ed Ocampo because every time I would watch him coach you guys, wala pang aircon na Araneta nun
Talagang
UUC yun.
ramdam mo pa yung
Nakakailang sticks siya, Boyet.
Nag-UUC yun habang nagko-coach.
Hindi pa nga tapos, pinapatay na, nagsisikip na naman ulit.
Ilang hitit lang yung papatayin. Tapos, ituro na sa player. Oh, pasok ka. Ayan. Tapos, sindi na naman ulit. Tapos papatayin.
Yeah.
Tapos magbibigay na naman instruction. What a guy.
Okay. Si Brian may papakita rin daw.
Yan.
Ito, for the benefit of those who haven't seen Byron Snake Jones.
Galing sumayaw niyan. Yun.
I just don't know who yung sa Crispa ko sino yun.
That's Banton.
Bill Banton.
Paul Scranton?
Bill Banton.
Bill Banton.
Hindi ko na malala yun.
Yung kasama ni Mon, si Cyrus Man.
Kasama
Silang
ni
dalawa. Tapos Snake Jones tayo and si Howard Smith.
Si Paul Scranton, yun yung kasama ni Tom Cowart sa Mika, sa Crispa.
Oh.
Okay.
Tama.
Kung makalimutan si Tom Cowart. Talaga Snake Jones talaga. Una, nung simula, Jones lang yung nakalagay sa likod ni Byron. Eventually, lilagay niya yung Snake. Dahil ang daming fans na natutuwa na, it's the Snake! Byron Snake Jones.
Tama ba, Mark? Yung picture na pinakita natin, yun yung nagyoyosi si Edo Campo.
Hindi, ito. Meron akong bagong sinend.
Ito, may bagong sinend.
Ito. Wait lang ha.
Yan.
Sige. Kwento muna kayo, ita-download ko muna.
Labas mo yan. Yan yung colored na yan, di ba Mark? Yan yung colored eh. Colored na yan, colored na yan.
Wala akong nakuha.
And white yan eh.
Ito. Yun, okay na, nakuha ko na. Wait lang ha.
Labas mo yan. Colored na yan eh, colored. Huddle yun eh, huddle. Break in the huddle na yun eh. Oh. Sino ba yan? Kasama dyan si Francis, si Sunny. Sino ba kasama dyan?
Okay, eto na.
Exactly.
Nakil mo.
Andrew Fields.
May Yossi. Kitang-kita ba yung Yossi?
Yun no?
Yung
sa kaliwang kamay.
Hindi, limang yan.
Francis are nice. Jaworski, Abe King, Mon Fernandez, Andy Fields.
Si Andy Fields.
Francis are nice.
Si Andy Fields. Oh.
Grabe si coach, no? Parang chain smoker. Imagine,
Grabe.
No? Cigarette na, ano?
Okay lang kaya.
No, I can read. Oh, yes!
Okay lang kaya yan sa isang araw.
Dalawa.
Dalawang ka? Meron ba siyang specific brand of cigarette? Na
Marlboro Reds.
I think so.
Marlboro Red.
Marlboro Reds. Alam ko yan. Misado ko. Kasi nung pinanonood ko sa nakita ko eh. 5 piso lang nung araw na yun ang imported na military na Marlboro. 5 piso lang nun.
Alam mo ba yung military, ha?
Oo, di ba? Andun Ramon, paglabas mo ng San Lorenzo, di ba sa likod ng gasolinahan, nandun yung bilihan ng TX na yung sigarilyo.
Ba't mo alam yun, Boyet?
Imported cigarettes.
O kaya tatakbo ka ng Cartimar.
Yep.
Wow. Wonderful memories.
Yun, talagang may ebidensya talaga na nagsisigarilyo.
How many championships did Edo Campo win with you guys?
I will remember. 82, alam ko, nakadalawa kami. Probably, dalawa lang because I don't think 83 nanalo kami.
Wala, 83.
That was our last year. Hindi kami nanalo ng 83. Nakadalawa lang kami sa 82 ang alam ko naalala ko.
Wow. Send ako last picture, share ko to.
Sige.
Billy Robinson.
Wow! Manila Bank na siya niyan. Oo.
Yeah. Galing na siyang Noritake niyan.
Yes. One of the few imports who made the transition from the Mika into the PBA, but played first for Mariwasa, Billy Robinson, and eventually for Manila Bank in his later years.
Boyet.
Yes, sir.
Nung Mariwasa pa yan, magka-teammate yan sila nila Jake Rojas eh.
Yes.
Nila Jesse Soliano, Boy Adolfo, Figuracion.
Mariano Figuracion. Wow.
Sometime, I think probably that was 1968, I happened to be in Manila that time and they were playing in the championship series eh. So, the night before the championship game, nagmadjong sila doon kila bahay ni Jake Rojas. Nagmamadjong sila. Nakakatuwa si Billy Robinson eh. Pag salat ba tawag doon sa Tagalog?
Oo.
Pag salat niya ganyan, nawawala yung madjong set eh. sa laki ng daliri.
Sa laki ng daliri.
Pero mga madjong sila hanggang alauna siguro yun. Kinabukasan ng championship, nag-champion pa rin yung mga loko eh. Pero ang the best niyan, naalaala nila Ompong siguro yung yung coach ni Jake Rojas na Honda nung araw po. Maliit.
Tama.
Kulay blue.
Oo. Tinago natin.
Kasabay niya si Billy Robinson at the time. Yun na yung auto niya at the time eh. Si Billy Robinson, doon nakaupo sa likod, nakababa yung upuan, yung tuhod niya, nasa harap.
Ano ka laki?
Ganun kalaki yung mama. Kasi yung Honda ni Jake na yon, maliit pa sa mini yata yun eh. Nakaparking minsan sa quarters namin sa Toyota. Kasama ka ba doon po? Binuhat namin. Nilipat namin ng ibang lugar eh.
Kasi si Jake, pagkatapos ng practice yan, nagpapamasahe diyan sa may Makati. So,
saan? Sa Makati Avenue?
Ano yun?
Makati Avenue.
Yung
Doon sa may, yung
pinakasikat dyan, meron siyang number, dyan, may number
Makati
33
Medical
yata.
yung banda pong di ba?
Oo.
Bandang harap ng Makati Medical, that area.
Pinago namin yung auto niya, binuhat na. Ilang time bumuhat noon? Honda na mga apat yata tayo.
Anim lang yata kami, binuhat namin.
Na, lumalabas si Jake Rojas. Sabi ko, dito ko lang pinarada to, bakit nawala yung kotse ko? Baka nakarnap. Kailangan na siya magpunta dun sa masahihan. Kung medyo nag-iinit na ulo, sinabi namin, andun yung auto mo nila.
Binuhat
namin. Yung auto na, magkano na siguro nung araw yun, yung ganun kalaki na Honda. Wala pa siguro 5,000 yun
Wala pa.
Kasi during that time, yung Corolla SR, 28,000 Yung brand new.
Yung una,
Repang Mon. Yung Macho, 30,000.
1973, yung Corolla SL, 17,000 lang yun.
Dati, ganun kamura.
Ang Mercedes-Benz 200 noon, nasa 23,000 lang, 25.
Mura auto nung araw.
Lahat mura, pati gas mura.
Lahat.
Pati good time mura.
Mura.
Pera. Trap nun.
Sir Boyet, mukhang alam mo bang magtatatlong oras na tayo nagkikwentuhan dito?
Kaya nga eh.
Walang nalang maglabas tayo ng mga ng pwede nating yung mainom dito para dire-diretso lang hanggang alas 7 na umaga.
Baka yung mga senior citizen alalahanin nyo Huwag tayo talaga yung mga senior citizen.
May tatanong lang ako kay Commissioner.
Ayun.
Yung picture mo sa likod, nakahuli mo yan?
Siyempre.
Ha?
Siyempre. Hindi ka naman malayo ang palengke niya. Nasa gitna kami ng dagat yan
Deep sea yan Deep sea.
Medyo.
Sarap dyan sa lugar mo. Fishing.
Fishing teaches you patience.
Right.
Does, really.
Parang whenever nagbekwento si Don Ramon ng mga kwento niya, alam mo, it's parang it's ironic na June Marfardo is also is coming from the same place, mahilig din sa fishing, and both players are dominating the league in their own eras.
Correct.
Baka maganda dyan kung gusto mo magbuntis ng asawa, baka pwedeng dyan na lang sa lugar na yan para lumaki ng ganyan.
Hindi, alam mo, ang sikreto kasi ng mga Bisaya, whether it be Central, Western, Eastern Visayas, ang sikreto ng mga Bisaya, unang-una yung kinakain. One of the biggest things ako, and I know this from all my relatives in Negros, mais. Pare, maniwala ka. Ang lakas magpalakas na katawan ng mais.
High energy.
Yes.
Corn. Eat a lot of corn.
No sugar pa.
Correct. Exactly. Noong panahon ng Marcelo, maalala nitong tatlong yun nagkaroon ng rice shortage sa Pilipinas. Binibentang kanin dito sa Manila, may halong mais.
Yes.
Kasi nagkaroon ng rice shortage sa atin. So may halong...
Pag bumili ka ng mais, boy, at sabihin mo yung size 14.
Size 14. Tsaka masarap. Ang mais namin sa Bisaya, masarap. Masarap ang mais namin doon. Sarap ang mais namin.
Hindi na dumarating sa Manila yan.
Well, bihira.
Hindi na.
Bira.
Bihira.
Merong konti.
Sa kalapit lang na lumadating.
Isda tsaka mais. Yun ang ano doon.
Yun ang very fresh kasi ang isda dito because most nasa around the coastal areas lang.
Yes.
The islands, ang supplies ng Cebu City dito lang sa area, Visayan Sea, Bohol, Canyon Strait, you know. So fresh talaga. Cuts ng morning, nasa palengke na ng tanghali.
Bumili ka lang nga ng talaba o tahong. 100. Isang, alam mo yung nilalagyan ng yelo pag umiinom ka sa labas? Yung bakal na bucket. 100. Puno yun, talaba. 100 pesos.
Lalo na sa Region 6 area, Bacolod, Iloilo, Boyet.
Ay, oo.
Yun ang center ng talaba. Dito sa Cebu, Bohol, wala masyadong nagpa-farming ng talaba. Sa Bacolod and Iloilo area, ang marami dyan.
Busog na busog ako sa talaba pag umuwi ako eh.
Alam mo, during our time nasa Toyota, nagpupunta kami doon sa Dewey Boulevard. Bumibili kami ng...
Gilid ng Cultural Center.
Sa gilid ng Cultural Center.
Sa Cultural, kinikinilaw ni Commissioner. Mahusay magpilaw to eh.
Ay, sarap! Sarap!
Ay, ano kayo, namimiss ko yung kinilaw mo ah.
Kinilaw na tahong o kaya kinilaw na tuna. Nako, sarap.
No, but anyway, no, siguro mag-off the record tayo ng konti mamaya, no? But anyway, Coach Emer, you have one remaining question na talagang kating-kati ka na tanungin kung ano yon.
Oo, madalas ko tinatanong to sa mga legend natin eh. Ngayon kay Sir Mon Fernandez naman.
Yes, Emer.
Yeah, simple lang naman. Sir, why number 19 and number 10 ang number mo?
That was advised to me, suggested to me by my older brother, number 10. When I was in San Carlos, Cebu, number 6 yata yung uniform ko na eh. But it just so happened that when I went to Manila, pagdating sa youth namin, number 10 yan, din yata ako doon, Repang Ompong, you know?
Oh, yes.
That timing. But that was suggested to me by my older brother, na number 10. Kasi daw, ang number 10 is parang number 1 din. Diba? Hindi ka lang masyadong very presumptuous na maglagay ng number 1 sa jersey mo. Parang si Andy Fields. kaya konting number 10 naman. Kasi 1 plus 0 is equal to 1 pa rin. Diba? And 19, kasi paglipat ko ng Tanduay, nandun si Freddy Hubalde. No? So, hindi ko naman pwedeng tanggalin sa kanya yung, hindi ko pwedeng agawin naman sa kanya yung number 10 because yun ang ano talaga niya. Kaya nag-number 19 ako, tama naman. Walang number 19. Kaya nadala ko na hanggang all the way na to San Miguel, no? Until I retired. So, 19 is 1 plus 9 equals 10 pa rin.
So 10 pa rin. 10 pa rin. Okay, go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Permission to wrap this up. Then let's put the off the record stuff as well. But anyway, ito na lang ang tanong ko, no? Just to end this show, no? For our three gentlemen right here, what do you think is the legacy of Toyota in Philippine basketball? Let's start with you, Mr. Rookie of the Year. First Rookie of the Year, Mr. Gil Cortez.
Legacy ng Toyota, napakalaki. At alam mo, maraming followers yan. At nabigyan ng napakagandang laro at napanood ng mga tao, especially when we played against Crispa, no? Yun, at saka ang daming mga players na sumikat na andyan sa Toyota team, Toyota Comets team. Yeah.
Sir, okay, Sir Ompong.
Ang
Maraming
legacy ng Toyota,
napasaya.
Yun nga, maraming nainggan yung mga kabataan na mag-basketball, and then maraming mga parents na involved diyan sa basketball because of Toyota Crispa. Yun yung legacy ng nakikita ko sa Toyota, na malaking tulong para sa mga tao na nabigyan namin ng magandang panoorin. So, yun ang kinukonsider ko legacy ng Toyota.
And finally, Don Ramon, El Presidente.
Ako na lang magsabi ng totoo. No. How about it?
Sige, Commissioner.
Tama yung sinabi ng dalawa. Talaga, yung quality ng game ng dalawang kupunan na yun nung panahon ng rivalry, yun talaga ang naging main legacy, no? Pero sorry Atoy, sorry Abet, sorry, but mas magandang lalaki kami kaysa sa inyo. Hindi, biro lang ha.
Pero ako, mag-a-agree ako doon. Kahit magalit sa akin si Coach Atoy, si Abet, si Coach Philip.
Boyet, mag-a-agree ka kahit crispa ka.
Ha?
Mag-a-agree ka. Kahit na crispa ka, mag-a-agree ka.
Oo, mag-a-agree ako.
Yun.
Mas gwapo kayo. Totoo yun.
So, nagkita ang Crispa Toyota sa disco. Saan pupunta yung mga babae?
Toyota.
Iyon na.
Oh. Boyet, kaya nung first 10 years ng PBA, naka 13 championships ang Crispa, naka 9 lang kami. Kasi yung Crispa, mas unang na-form na team kasi yun eh. Yung mga materials nila nando na. Kami, nag-umpisa kami ng 73 at pabago-bago pa, no? But I would like to believe, personal opinion ko, yung team na namin ng mga 1982, 83, from 81 to 83, kung tuloy-tuloy kami lahat doon, mas malalampasan namin yung championships kasi yung mga bagong fresh, we must admit that yung mas maraming materials ang Crispa in the beginning.
Yeah.
No? So, hindi nag-mature yung na-disband nga, na-disband ang Toyota noong 83. Kaya yung core ng players na yon sana makaka-dominate sana yon all the way to the early 90s or at least the 90s. No?
That's true. That's true.
But pinakamabigat pa rin doon, yung mas gwapo talaga kami.
Agree ako dyan.
Walang hiya na eh, no?
At kayo may huling halakhak. Kayo huling nanalo.
Basta talo sila.
Nasaktan si Coach Emmer.
Yes, Sir Brian.
Nasasaktan ka ba?
Hindi.
Nasasaktan si Coach Emmer, wala pa kaming request na Crispa dito.
Totoo naman sinasabi ni Sir One. Totoo naman.
Di ba Coach Emmer? Totoo yun eh. Mas gwapo talaga.
Alam na si Coach Emmer, crispa rin ah.
Oo, crispa rin yun eh.
Teka,
ganun ba? Dalawa kayo ah.
Teka muna. Kwentuhan lang dito yan ha. Huwag niyong isulat yung lintik na yan ha.
Oh my.
Actually, sabi ko nga, alam nila Sir Brian tsaka ni Ernest na I'm a PBA fan since 1975. Kaya whether you're Crispa or Toyota, lalo ngayon, masarap ng usapan. Iba na di ba?
The respect is there.
Oh, the respect is there.
Pero nga pala, yung mga Crispa, hindi gumagamit ng Toyota na kotse, di ba? Kayong mga Toyota naman, Nagsusot ba kayo ng Crispa t-shirt naman?
Hindi.
Sa
Kami, Nick.
sa amin,
Lakos!
sa amin
Lakos sa mga
meron.
sports shirt nyo, puro kayo nakalakos.
Sa Toyota Quarters, meron. Nagsusuot.
Sino?
Ha?
Sino man?
Anong pangalan ng natin doon? Bata natin doon at mataba? Anak ni Manang?
Yung mga helper. Yung mga
sa Bel Air?
helper sa quarters. Naka-crispa.
Hindi ay good quality naman yung Crispa t-shirt eh.
Oh, but that's true.
Maganda naman quality nun.
Pero puro kayo nakaniknik tsaka nakalakos. Tsaka ang mga pantalon nyo doon, puro kayo naka-ano. Yung mga maong nyo nun, kamuna,
Bang. Faded Glory.
tandaan ko yung brand.
Faded Glory.
Nakabangbang kayo, Faded Glory.
Oh.
Yun ang mga maong nyo dati. Faded Glory tsaka bangbang.
Pag may konting bonus, Ferrucci.
Pierucci, yan!
Yung Sir Boyet, yung may bakal sa likod.
Yan!
Ferrucci nung araw na yun, 1,200 pa yun.
Mahal na yun.
Gano'n kamahal yun. Gano'n kamahal sa Rustans yun.
Lakos noon, 380.
Ganun,
Saka good
ang
quality.
bilhin,
Talagang makapal. Sometimes we go to Pampanga, we buy. Kami ni Namon at saka ni Ompong.
Pupunta sila ng Dao.
Nepo Mart.
Nepo Mart, yan!
Nepo Mart.
Sir Boyet, ba't lumalayo pa silang bumili ng t-shirt? Doon nila sa Dasmariñas, may Crispa ron ha.
Sa baba ng sa Buendia, yung bilog dati, di ba?
Doon. Yung parang rotonda, yung bilog na tindahan nila doon. Wala na yun eh. Wala na yun. It's gone. Ay, nako. Such wonderful memories, gentlemen.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very, very much. No? At, but anyway, since napag-usapan na rin natin yan, we will, at tumatagal ang oras natin. Kaya to ng 7 oras kung kaya natin, no?
Wag.
Part 2 na lang, part 2.
Pwede ka mag-part 2.
Kaya natin sila on the fields, yung mga import.
Yes. Bago tayo magtapos, papasalamat ako sa inyo lahat for inviting us at least after talking to you guys, to all of you reminiscing those days, at least easily 10 years bumata kami ng 10 years.
Bumata ng 10 years.
Ako rin, thank you very much guys. Boyet, Ivan, Emerson, Brian, Mike,
Mark,
and Ernest. Thank you very much for inviting us.
Baka may makalimutan kayong batiin, ha? May mga nagtatampo kapag hindi nyo nabate, ha? So, i-review nyo.
Manood kayong madalas ng Sports on the Air. Para marami kayong matutunan.
Yeah.
Marami kayong matutunan at malalaman ng mga intriga na hindi nyo alam. Mga nakatago sa baol. Ako rin, nagpapasalamat sa inyo ulit sa pag-invite nyo sa amin. Ernest, Brian, of course, si Ivan and Mark, nawala nata sa screen, no? And sa idol ko, si Boyet. Idol ko yan. You always stay safe. Everyone stay safe.
Okay, Ernest.
Sige, so,
And syempre, yung mga kausap.
Meron pa.
Ano naman, yes.
Kailan ka Manila?
Dadating ako dyan September 27. Sa October 3, imbitahin ko kayo lahat, ha?
Birthday mo.
Birthday ni Repang Mon.
Birthday, 1 year na yun.
Yes,
Yung
joint birthday kasi namin yan ni Carla ng wife ko eh. So we usually celebrate it together, sabay, no? So but ngayong October 3, isi-celebrate namin yung birthday niya dito sa Cebu eh, 25. So October 3, doon lang kami sa Ultra. But meron kaming kaibigan na Cebuano Balladeer nga merong show every night sa FB Live, magla-live siya from 7 to 10 in the evening.
Wow.
So, abangan nyo.
Game yan.
October 3 from 7 p.m. to
10.
May mga kakantahan kami ni Martin Rivera doon.
Yan!
Abangan ninyo. At saka yung second runner-up na it's going to be a night of songs, 3 hours of songs with the special participation nga ni Martin Rivera, bait na kaibigan. Pinagbigyan kami para sa mga atletang Pilipino namin ino-offer yan, no? Meron kaming mga prizes ibibigay dyan. Meron akong mga pinagawang basketball na pinirmahan ko at several other prizes from Milo and may empanada, no? So maraming prizes, may mga raffle prizes or games na gagawin na simple lang. At it's going to be a night of music. So October 3, remember that, huh?
Yes, sir.
It's going to be live on Facebook.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for the invite.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir Gil, may sinasabi kayo, sir? Sir Gil?
Sabi ko maraming salamat sa invite. Si Don Ramon, nakita mo yung ano niya, pag nasa Cebu siya, nangingisda yan. Fishing ang hobby niyan. Pag nasa Ultra yan, ano naman yan, nagtatanim yan. May garden siya doon. Napakalaki ng Ultra. Tinatamnan na lahat yun.
Kaya naisipan tuloy.
Kasi walang magawa eh.
Naisipan tuloy ni Chairman na pagbalik ng mga atleta doon, ang libangan nila after the training and all, pag wala silang ginagawa, mag-gardening na rin sila doon.
Actually, that's a good idea.
Kaysa,
to grow your own food. That's good.
Kaysa manood ng TV and all that, minus pa sa maintenance sa garden doon. Because yung mga damo maalis, tataniman mo ng pagkain.
Right. Yeah,
So
you
anyway.
improve your nutrition by planting your own food. That's very good.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Correct.
Fantastic.
Back to basics.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Thank you very much.
Good night, everybody.
Ako ng pagkakataon bumati ang mga co-host ko dito sa araw na to. Mark, may mga gusto ko bang batiin before anything else?
Well, sa lahat ng fans ng PBA at ng Philippine Basketball, maraming salamat sa inyong suporta. At sana huwag niyong kakalimutan ang mga heroes natin noon at ngayon pagdating sa basketball.
Ivan, how about you?
And thank you very much kay Commissioner Ramon, kay Sir Ompong, and kay Sir Gil again for doing this. And thank you din sa mga nanonood, and thank you din sa diabati kay mga PSL, PMO, Monday Basketball Group, and sana, yun nga, isip tayo, sana, makabalik tayo sa basketball. Yes. Thank you.
Coach Emmer.
Yeah, sa mga basketball fan, PBA fan, and to our team, Terra Firma ng PBA, malapit na tayo magkita-kita. Live tayo sa Channel 5 ulit. And then Patrick Sportswear. Thank you kay Jeff Martin ng barkada ko from Mapua. And again, kay Sir Mon Fernandez, kay Ompong Segura, and kay Sir Gil Cortez. Ang feeling ko, bumata ako ng 40 years because I was 10 years old during your Crispa Toyota days. Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.
And of course, Sir Boyet, kayo naman.
Ako, thank you lang, gentlemen. Ako paslit lang ako dito. This is your show. I'm just joining you guys because I don't want to miss this opportunity to interview 3 legends at the same time. Isipin niyo yan. Thank you. Maraming salamat, Sports on Air. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Boyet. And finally, Godfather.
Boyet, this will not be the last time. That I guarantee you. Anyway, thank you, Sir Mon. Thank you, Sir Gil. Thank you, Sir Ompong. Alam niyo sir, Berto, it was an idea that came up from Sir Gil and Sir Ompong. Nag-usap na, bakit daw di kayong tatlo? Now we know talagang masaya. And there are a lot of people who are going to be happy when they see this. Number one yan, dad ko, who told me earlier today, he'd spent the whole day watching all the videos that we did with Sir Ompong, with Sir Gil. Nagugulat siya. Believe siya sa memory nyo. Pero sabi ko, you haven't seen anything yet. Sir Mon Fernandez later with us. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, thank you.
And with that, we wrap up the show. For those who are just new to our channel, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And for those who are in Facebook, and if you haven't liked our page yet, please do para malaman nyo kung sino yung mga susunod naming guests. And this is Ernest Hernandez of Sports on Air, bidding you with this very, very simple message. Stay safe and God bless.
Thank you for watching. Click the subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified with our latest videos.